He's just a complete and utter disaster when it comes to our club. And I'm sickened. I'm absolutely sickened. But we'll go live, will we? We'll go live? Yep. Right, let's do it. Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand Watch Along Live. I'm on my own at the moment. Joe will be joining me in a minute, but I'm probably better off on my own, to be honest, because the team news is in. For those who haven't seen it, the tree starts. I think Van Gaal does it on purpose now. I really do think he does it on purpose. Picking Fellaini, I'm just sickened, absolutely sickened. We're Manchester United and we're effectively picking a tour player to counteract Andy Carroll, who plays for West Ham. How the mighty have fallen in Manchester United. And the thing that makes me laugh the most is that Fellaini actually, for somebody who's meant to be winning the aerial duels, loses 52% of his aerial duels. I mean, Joe Allen beat him, didn't he? So we are live. Great. Okay, I must just while we are live, I just must put your live comment section up for you, so we can do that for you now and get all those up and running. There we go. Yeah, so really disappointed. There's lots of things to get into about the lineup anyway, but picking Fellaini just is symbolic of Manchester United. How many times have we said that our game is the game is more or less, you know, you're going to lose it an hour before kickoff when Van Gaal's team selection comes out. We don't deserve this as Manchester United fans. We don't deserve this Dutch Sam Allardyce as our manager, but we're stuck with him. I was confident about winning the game before, and I'm not confident about winning it now. I just think Fellaini and the team, we're going to go on the back foot. The team I did on the preview, for anybody who watched it, too late now, was Herrera, Schneiderlin and Mata in the midfield, with Young on the right and Memphis on the left and Martial up front. How different Louis van Gaal's gone. Instead of having a tenacious, fast midfield with a bit of experience on the widths and fight with Memphis, experience with Young and Martial playing up front and giving a Rashford a rest, we've now got a lightweight, young, inexperienced front three with Lingard playing for God knows what reason, awful against Spurs. Rashford, whose confidence probably took a knock from the bollocking he got from Louis van Gaal, which was out of order, but I think he deserves a rest anyway. Martial on the left. And then we've got a slow midfield with Fellaini. Carrick playing 2 games in 3 days, ridiculous. And Herrera plays, which is a positive. I wanted Herrera to play, but with that midfield, he's going to struggle. But what we're going to do, we're not going to go on the front foot. It's quite clear. I didn't expect us to under Louis van Gaal. We won't go on the front foot. We're going to go on the back foot with 2 midfielders who are very slow, Carrick and Fellaini, and we're going to invite West Ham on. And I'm glad we're doing the watch along because at least I've got all you lot with me for it. So, deluded Brendan, we're playing Fellaini to stop Carroll from set pieces. Simple, and that's sickening. Deluded Brendan, absolutely sickening that Manchester United have to do that. Tactics Network, Fellaini is the only player that listens to Louis van Gaal. Yeah, exactly. Fellaini fits Louis van Gaal like a glove. Louis van Gaal does not like creative players who play on their talent. He wants people to do the simple things. Was Memphis got to start shining Louis van Gaal's shoes, says Bang for Buck PC Gamer. Memphis should start. He showed in that couple of minutes against Spurs that he's exactly he showed a bit of fight that we haven't seen all season. I'm looking forward to seeing Herrera. We can't be too negative, but let's just have a quick look. I've just been moaning about Fellaini for so long. I did follow us on Facebook because I do the live reaction to the team news on there, which I did about half an hour ago. But let's just have a look at what the subs are. I believe Rooney's on the subs bench, so he will definitely come on, whether you like that or not. He will do. I just can't. The things that I can't understand is why is Rojo playing? That makes no sense. Absolutely abysmal against Spurs 2 days ago, and he starts. Why is Lingard playing? Absolutely abysmal against Spurs. Why is Carrick playing 2 games in 3 days? Why is Fellaini in the shirt? I wouldn't trust him to sweep my drive, let alone bloody mark for Andy Carroll. So, and what annoys me the most is, as Manchester United fans, we're brought up a certain way, and we know from that lineup we are not going to play attacking football. We're going to play defensive football, and it makes me sick. The substitutes bench then is Valencia, Ashley Young, Schneiderlin, Mata, Memphis, Rooney. I mean, why is Schneiderlin been dropped for? What has Schneiderlin been dropped for? Mata, I can sort of understand. He was pretty poor against Spurs, but he was played at right back. But I'd even everybody on that bench I would play over some of the players who were starting the lineup. That's what I don't understand. He's just a sabotaging Dutch clown, and I'm fed up of him. I'm absolutely fed up of him. He won't be sacked tomorrow. We'll watch all this together. He won't be sacked tomorrow. You can rest assured that will not happen. He won't be going until it's mathematically impossible for us to get top 4. So we could lose 3 or 4-0 tonight and he will not go. And Andrew Glass says the starting lineup is a bit of a mess, to be honest. I'm on my own at the moment because Joey is in America. He's not flying in from America. He will be on for the watch along in a moment. But I wanted to go a little live half an hour before because that's what we did on Sunday with Martin. And I like to interact before the game has started. So, I mean, start whacking in your score predictions. That's a good point. David Matata says 2-1 West Ham, Andy Carroll 2 and Marshall 1. Tell us the minutes, David. You're very precise. I would have gone 1-0 Man United before if they'd gone for my lineup, which I'll just give you now. My lineup would have been, well, I've already told you, haven't I, the start? Yeah, I did tell you. The front three I would have liked to see. If Ashley Young can play for 45 minutes against Spurs, he can play on the right wing where he's meant to play, and he should be playing today. I'd love to see Memphis on the left and Martial up front because he's better than Rashford, isn't he? And I think Rashford needs a break. What a front three that would have been, and it would have frightened West Ham. Unfortunately, Rashford, an 18-year-old who's not, looks tired and lacking confidence. Lingard, who's like was basically like a streak of piss, isn't he? I mean, he's just got no body strength to him at all at number 10, so he's easy to deal with, a physical West Ham side. Martial stuck out on the left. If you deal with him, you more or less stop United in an attacking sense. And then a midfield of Fellaini and Carrick. I mean, you may as well get the Zimmer frames out because they're not going to do much for you, and Ander Herrera can't do it all on his own. 5-0 to West Ham, says Tactics Network. At least we'll be together if it goes like that because it's going to be difficult to watch this game. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see anything in that lineup or our play recently. And I think having being beaten by Spurs on the Sunday, he'll be looking not to go. He'll be looking to keep it tight is what he's going to do. Dogman Doyle says 0-0, I'm guessing. Andrew Glass 2-0, maybe 3 to West Ham. Lou Van Gaal hoping to win on penalties, says Bill Jones. Wouldn't surprise me if that's what we're playing for. Really wouldn't surprise me if that's what we're playing for. I said it in the preview as well. West Ham with Andy Carroll in it. The way you deal with Andy Carroll is you don't play a tall player like Fellaini in defensive midfield, which is what we're effectively doing. You play Schneiderlin, Mata, Herrera, who are quick, good on the ball and tenacious. You play your centre-backs and your full-backs 10 yards further up the pitch, and you make your wide men, who I would have had Young and Memphis, stick to their fullbacks, because what will happen in this game, watch me if I'm wrong, is we're going to play deep like we did. Their fullbacks will get plenty of the ball, and then when their fullbacks have got the ball, they can put the high ball into the box. You've got to stop the high ball, and the only way to stop the high ball coming into the box is to go on the front foot and attack yourself. We're not going to do that, unfortunately. We haven't got the pace to do it. Fellaini and Carrick are going to sit in front of the centre-backs, defensive midfielders like we always do. And I think it's a myth. I really do. I think Chris Smalling's had a good season. I can't wait for the Euros to see how well he performs in a proper back four that's not protected by two defensive midfielders all the time. But if you're Daley Blind, I think he was exposed against Spurs. I like Daley Blind. You need squad players to be successful. And Daley Blind, maybe even Lingard, can be squad players for us in the future years. But we will never win a title with Daley Blind as centre-back. He's not a title-winning centre-back. And the reason he's played well this season is, one, he's a decent player, but two, it's easy to play as a centre-back when you've got two defensive midfielders sitting in front of you all the time. Most teams don't do that. Most teams you've got one, and they're well protected, very, very well protected. With all due respect, can you not talk tactics, Liam, Matt? All right. You've thrown me there, Liam, because a lot of people like us to talk tactics, and then obviously some people don't. So hit and miss. Expecting a beating, Mark. I'm expecting a beating. I want us to win. But what concerns me is that if we win, it's this football. It's the I don't know about you lot, but it's the quality of the football that really, really winds me up. I don't want to win 1-0 every week playing rubbish football. I don't want that. That's not why I love football. That's not why I love Manchester United. I want us to entertain. I've been lucky that for up until the last 3 years, and even Moyes to a certain extent tried to do it. He's just had rubbish tactics. But the last 18 months, it's just poor football. I don't care if we come third every year and we play good football. I don't care about that. I want to play good football, and Van Gaal won't do it. And that's the problem with if we win today, we can win today, but we'll win probably 1-0, 2-1, something like that, nicking a soft goal. I can't see it. I really can't see it. And even if Fellaini has the game of his life and scores a hat-trick and people start saying who's bashing Fellaini now, I will still stay. He's not a Manchester United player. You know, one sunny day doesn't make a summer, and Fellaini is just not. He's just not the real deal. He's not even. I don't know who'd buy him. I think Sunderland is his level, and they're going to be in the Championship, aren't they? Plain banner with Louis van Gaal out inbound. The thing is, whatever happens tonight, we're playing Aston Villa on Saturday at 3 o'clock. We'll have the watch along for you. Bit of self promotion there, but we'll beat Villa, and then it'll be like we can still get top 4, and we're not. Mark, is it true the dressing room argued with Van Gaal over the punishment and use of Rashford and Young? I don't know whether there's any truth in that. I'd be disappointed if the dressing room wasn't getting fed up with Van Gaal by now, because it's beyond a joke. I'm going to get rid of this because it's getting on my nerves. I mean, how could you not be? I think you're a disgrace as a professional, to be honest, if you're not moaning at Van Gaal about his lineup, to be honest, because it's disgraceful, isn't it? But I don't know. I can't comment on that. I think the club are going to get rid of him, and that's all that matters. Liam Matt, I really don't understand how Blind isn't considered a proper centre-back just because he isn't tall or fast. He's been playing superb for 40 games, bar 1 or 2 games. Absolutely shocking. I've got nothing against Daley Blind. I think he's a very, very good squad player for Manchester United. But if you want to win a title, he's not a title-winning centre-back. I think he could go and play for Everton, and like you say, over 40 games, he's had some good games. He's not a title-winning centre-back, and that's got nothing to do with his height. A lot of it's got to do with his pace. He's brilliant on the ball, but what Van Gaal will not do is he didn't buy a centre-back in the summer. I'm going to explain it to you now. You can moan about me being tactical or anything like that, but I'll lay it down on the line, and I'm sure a lot of you will understand this. What Van Gaal didn't do in the summer was buy a good left-sided centre-back. He played Blind there at the start of the season. And for the rest of the season, we've been making do with Blind at centre-back. And the reason we've been making do with Blind at centre-back, and to make it work, we've had to play 2 defensive midfielders all season. If we played 1 defensive midfielder, Blind and Smalling would be more exposed. Smalling could probably deal with that because he's a very good centre-back. Blind would get exposed more in one-on-one positions for pace and everything like that. And we should be playing 10 yards further up the pitch than we do. David De Gea doesn't get used as a sweeper keeper, even though he's probably up there with Noor as a sweeper keeper. He's very fast off his line. We don't play a high line because we can't play a high line because Daley Blind will get done for pace, Rojo will get done for pace. So we play a deep defensive line. Manchester United, we need to be playing a higher 10 yards further up with a proper centre-back with Smalling, who you can just trust them like we did Vidic and Rio. If there's 2 up front, they'll go man for man, one-on-one. Blind could never do that. Blind could never just have 2 strikers up against him with Smalling and say crack on with it. We'd concede goals like a sieve. The reason we don't concede many goals, and the reason Blind does quite well, is because he's looked after by 2 defensive midfielders, which makes us a very, very poor, boring team to watch, because we're sacrificing a midfielder defensively when they should be getting in the box, which is what we always did. Simple. Manchester United won games for fun because we did a very simple thing. We played a flat back. We played 2 centre-backs who you could trust them, leave them back on their own as 2 centre-backs. We played 2 full-backs who were quick and bombed on and committed the opposition. And we put balls into the box, and our midfielders got into the box with our forwards. And you can't mark everybody, and we scored a lot of goals like that. The fullbacks are wrong. The only fullback, Fosu Mensah maybe. I don't think he will be a fullback long term. Luke Shaw was brilliant at it. The reason we used to get on to teams at Old Trafford especially is we do it down the wings, and the reason we don't do it now is because when Beckham or Ronaldo got the ball on the right, Gary Neville, one thing on his mind: bombs on, moves past them. That instantly makes their left back and their left side of midfielder. They've both got to do something. It's pushing them back. It might give Beckham or Ronaldo the space as he runs on. We haven't got any fullbacks who do that. Darmian can't do it. Rojo can't do it. The only one who could do it and was doing it well at the start of the season is Luke Shaw. There's massive problems with Manchester United in the way we set up, and the biggest one is Louis van Gaal, because he tries European tactics in England and it doesn't work. But it can easily be solved. We just need to get rid of him. Everyone watching the game and watch the 2 defensive midfielders favour Blind's side. Exactly, Christopher. I mean, I like Daley Blind. I'm not getting on at Daley Blind, and I don't want people to say I've got a problem with Daley Blind. I haven't. What I'm saying is, they've been very protected, our centre-backs, this year. That's why we don't concede many goals, because we're a very, very defensive side. But if you are just tuning in, I've calmed down a little bit, but I'm absolutely fuming about Fellaini starting. Do give us your thoughts on that. I think it's sabotage. I think it's a disgrace. I'm just baffled by it, and I just can't see. I just can't see what we're doing. What's the only interpretation is he's playing for height, and for me that's defeatist. That's not Manchester United. You know what? And I'm sure a lot of you would agree, and let me know what you think about this. So just type yes if you agree, no if you don't. I'd rather we turned up with an attacking side today and lost 4-2 than turn up like we are today and probably lose 1 or 2-0 with a defensive lineup. I would rather have a go and lose 4-2 than play Fellaini and Carrick and 2 defensive midfielders and defensive and lose 1 or 2-0. It's the same outcome, and at least we'd get some entertainment. We just want people to go and have a go and play the Manchester United way. What's my prediction, says Orange Hat 1. I'm going to get into some of the live comments now while we wait for Joey. I'm going to go West Ham 2-0. I'm sorry. Football focus. Darmian couldn't cross the road. Never mind a ball. Yeah, you're probably right. Would you, Mark, want Zlatan after his performance against City? Says Michael Gillivan. Yeah, I'd take Zlatan. I went a bit high pitch there. Yeah, I would take Zlatan. Why not? And you're all saying yes because you just want to be entertained. That's fantastic. Please rest Rashford, says to Jojo Bratwurst. That's exactly what I wanted to say. For those who are joining a bit late, my front three would have been Young on the right, Memphis on the left, and Martial up front, resting Rashford, dropping the crap Lingard, and my midfield three would have been Herrera, Mata, and Schneiderlin. Pace, tenacity, dynamism in the midfield. Instead, we've got slow Carrick, who's now playing 2 games in 3 days. So he's, we'll come into this in a minute. Carrick, Fellaini, waste of space. May as well get a bag of cement there and plant a tree in it. And Herrera, I'm happy Herrera's playing, but why has he not been playing for the last 2 games? I don't know. But another thing that frustrates me about Van Gaal is that I think Rojo will be a substitution straight away, about around the 60-minute mark. So that's a substitute wasted. I think Carrick will come off. That's another substitute wasted. Alex P66 loves West Ham. West Ham are doing well this season. It's interesting. We did the watch along the other day, and a couple of Spurs fans joined in. I've got no issue with Spurs or West Ham really. Both had very good seasons. We've been diabolical, and I think most Manchester United fans will accept that. I've just realised that Darmian's not even on the bench. I know Darmian. I wouldn't even say divides opinion. I think a lot of people don't like him. But against Everton, he was very, very good, and he got moved to left back because Rojo got injured. He didn't get picked against Spurs, and then he gets brought on into a baptism of fire, and he's dropped. Ridiculous. But I tell you what, though, whether you like Darmian or not, I'll just say this to you as I look at the substitutes bench. Right, last season, Louis van Gaal signed Romero on the bench, Schneiderlin on the bench, Darmian can't even make the squad, Memphis on the bench. In the starting lineup, he did sign Fosu Mensah, but he's a youth player, so I'm not counting him. He didn't sign Fellaini. Herrera wasn't really his signing either. Martial. So the thing about Van Gaal that always baffles me is that his signings, he drops them and treats them like absolute crap. Amazing, absolutely amazing. But there we go. So. Well, God, I've been talking for 20 minutes. We're only 10 minutes off kickoff. So what will happen is, just for those who've never done a watch along before, watch the game by however you watch it. But I tell you what, I think it's going to be a disappointing game today. I think it's going to be frustrating. Hence your live comments. Hence us watching the game with you. Hence us all sharing the boredom of watching Manchester United while we're on here. Obviously, we've got the West Ham 0, Man United 0 score. That will change during the game, I'm sure, to the West Ham side. Got the match time as well. As soon as the game kicks off, I'll start the match time so you can know around where we're watching it. And because it's a live stream, I'll get to the point, Mark, come on. Because it's a live stream, there will be a delay of a few seconds. What we always say is, if you're watching the watch along while you're watching the game, just pause whatever you're watching it on and marry it up with our time, because then it's more fun and it's more enjoyable, isn't it? And I think this is the great thing about the watch alongs, is that we're all watching together and sharing the pain. So that's the whole point of it. But hopefully Joey will join us soon. I'm just checking there if there's any changes to kickoff, because we had that at the weekend, didn't we? And we do not want that again. Interesting. Our last game of the season. Oh, we've got Joey. Let's get him on. Hi, Joey. All right. Yeah, not too bad. Hopefully we're going to get you on. Let me just turn it on and we will get you on. There we go. He's on. Joey's up on the screen. So I was just talking about the lineup there. Have you seen the lineup? Give us your thoughts. Yeah. Well, here to that. Sorry, I was just messing around with something there. I'm disappointed. I'm not going to be honest. David Matata says no sound. We should have some sound. No sound. Can't hear Joey. Can't hear. He's on mute. I'll have a mess around with that then while I'm talking. I thought everybody was commenting and saying you could hear Joey, so that's disappointing. But we've just had that quiet for the last while. But let's see what we can do about that while. Okay. Yeah, what Joe's basically just saying is that he's not happy with the lineup, but he's not going to let it He's not going to let it ruin his day, which is exactly what we want to hear. Let me just sort this out for you all so we can hear him. Nothing quite like live TV, and I suppose that there is some merit in that, really. I know you're all saying you didn't hear a word of Joey. That's fine. We're sorting it out as we speak. Oh, I think I know why. I shouldn't be doing that. One momentum, everybody. It's reset itself, which is a bit of a shame. Okay, just drop us a line if everybody can hear us. I can hear you, Joe. You can hear me?
Yep, I can hear you perfect.
It should all start working now. Somebody on the live comments, just let us know. Kickoff is coming up in about 5 minutes. I'm just waiting for somebody to confirm whether they can hear Joey. Just somebody say, if you can, where is the game? Says David H. Abdul Ikram. Just somebody, I'll throw it back to Joey again, and then somebody let us know if there is. There's an interesting point. Deluded Brendan just said, why is there no pre-match coverage on the BBC? Because it is kicking off at 7 o'clock. They must be just going straight into it. I don't know, but it is
almost the same here in the States. It's like, I guess they're not planning on the early kickoff, the hour early kickoff. You got the Champions League going on.
Yeah.
So
Everton beat Crystal Palace for those who are into their fantasy Premier League. But Joey, unfortunately, no one got to hear what you said about the lineup. So give us your thoughts again, mate.
Yeah, more or less, I was just disappointed because I think we need a more mobile midfield. I thought Schneiderlin is, for me, he's always just an obvious start, and I think, him and Carrick are probably right now. I know Schweinsteiger's hurt, but him and Carrick are probably the best two midfield in terms of pairing. I think they complement each other well. So yeah, the lack of mobility. Fellaini hasn't started in quite a bit. And it's just crazy that, this guy keeps playing him. If you're going to play Fellaini, play him up top, behind the striker. At least play to his strengths. The guy's, like Scholes said, he's not going to dictate play. He's not going to spray the ball around and pass it with accuracy. That's just not his game. Physical presence, no, I'm not having that because he's a walking danger as a red card with his elbows. And yeah, he might not mean it, but you do it. So knock it off with that ball. But yeah, just disappointed. Happy that Fosu Mensah's in there. I was talking about when they couldn't hear me. Hopefully they can hear me now. I hope that that little injury he had in the last game against Tottenham, I hope that was nothing serious because you don't want players at a young age, I know that they're young and they recover quick, but you don't want to keep going on the same injury or have this make it any worse. So, but look, West Ham are a good team. They've built something very nice down there. They're probably going to have Europa League next year. They're a tough team. Andy Carroll's, obviously on form, scoring a hat trick. So it's going to be I'd rather see lots of goals. I'd rather see these two teams come out, have a go, but I have a feeling that's not what's going to happen.
Just testing the match time there. As soon as the game kicks off, the time.
Yeah, we'll have to line it up.
That will stop it off, and I will marry up my footage with Joey, so we're matched in, and then you can all match in. There will be a delay. That's what happens. That's what happens with a watch along. But it's probably going to be only something like 10 to 30 seconds, and it's well worth it to share what I predict will be a painful match for Manchester United. And that's the whole point of the watch along, is that we watch it however we watch it. And we watch it and we all comment. You've got your live comments on the video. You can all share in that. We don't show the game. It's not a live stream of the game. And I think a lot of you are getting used to that now. But if you've never watched the United Stand before, we are the #1 independent Manchester United fan channel. It's all about the fans for us. It's all about fan content. I think is that Fellaini with Joey there? Oh no, it's a dog.
No, no.
I was getting excited. You'd kidnapped him. But no.
That's almost... You insulted by that?
You should be.
Probably a better player than Fellaini.
Insulting to dogs. But
a better footballer than him.
I'd said before, well, we're going to be going live in about 2 minutes, I think. So, the match time will start.
Yeah, I got him coming out of the tunnel right now.
But what I was saying is, as you said, I wouldn't pick Fellaini anyway. But if you're going to pick Fellaini, I was funny enough because I live in the Birmingham area. I was talking to some Villa fans at work today, and we were talking about. I went to watch Villa play Everton the week after United had played Everton about at the start of the season, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and Fellaini played like a monster against us. And the same thing happened. I went to watch Villa play, and they played Everton, and Fellaini was ridiculously good. Baines was hitting the ball up to him. He was controlling it like a magnet. But he was playing as that sort of number 10 position, which is never going to suit Manchester United, that style of football. But that's his best position. What he's playing for, he's playing today because of Andy Carroll. And there's an interesting thing that Alex had tweeted us about. I think you'd seen it as well. That actually, Fellaini loses 52% of his aerial duels. But he's a physical presence.
Yeah, you're right. Just because you're tall doesn't mean you can out-jump everyone. Obviously, you have the advantage being tall, but... not to toot my own horn, but my vertical, I can jump higher than Fellaini can. Just because he's tall doesn't mean he's going to win, and I think you see that in the stats. I mean, I remember, was it 2 seasons ago? Sterling beat him out for a header, I believe it was. So,
Joe Allen did it the other week.
Exactly. It's all about positioning and your vertical, how high you can jump. So, look, physical presence, isn't that what Schneiderlin is? I thought Schneiderlin was a tough tackling, no nonsense, could be a little, meaner, but I thought he was a good physical presence. But there he is, sat on the bench. You have, look at that bench. I mean, Depay, Mata, Young, these are players that probably should be starting.
It looks like they more or less are ready to go with this straight away. Let me know when your footage starts, Joey, and I'll see.
I'm looking at the teams. They're showing the teams how they're lining up.
But the Schneiderlin thing's a good point, as he loses his mic clip. The Schneiderlin is a very good point because I can't understand why Carrick is playing 2 games in a row in 3 days when we know Carrick is coming towards the end of his career. I think what we're going to do, very simply, is we are going to play 2 defensive midfielders in front of Blind and Smalling, which is why Blind has had a good season because he's been protected. We're going to sit back and we're going to try and nick a goal. And I know people are saying 3 or 4-0 to West Ham. I don't think United set up to get beat 3 or 4-0. I think we play very defensive. I don't think we'll get beat 3 or 4-0. I think we'll probably get beat 1 or 2-0. But or he'll nick it. But I have to, just for people, I will be looking that way a lot because that's where my screen is, and I'm currently looking at the biggest sabotaging fraud, Dutch Sam Allardyce in the world.
I love that term, Dutch Sam Allardyce. It's so right. It's so on point. And like you were saying about Fellaini earlier, I remember that game he scored against us, first game of the year. And then you were saying the following week he went and played Villa and he was a beast. That's another thing. The quality of ball coming from the fullback. Rojo isn't that great of a crosser. Fosu-Mensah, I haven't seen his crossing yet, but he's more of a run into the box type of player from what I've seen so far. That's another thing is we just do not create enough chances. And he sits there and he says,
"They're about to kick off, Joey. Is yours about to kick off?"
Same.
Tell me when they touch the ball, I'll hit it here. So we're about right, hopefully.
It looks it.
Might because it's off, yeah.
No, now I am. So I'm about 1 to 2 seconds behind.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. That's fine. That won't make much of a difference, really, because by the time I talk or you talk, it's...
By the time you get the G-O out of your mouth for goal, I'll be up there looking at it.
That's good, because I think I think the Martin one at the weekend was a bit of a pain because he was about 40 seconds behind, and we had. But then, to be fair, you get the banter on the live comment box because people were shouting goal because they knew we were behind, and it wasn't a goal. But
and bringing to your point about the Carrick, not just playing 2 games in 3 days, but that Tottenham team is they press high. They're quick. They're physical. I really like the way they play. That's tough on a player, especially at Carrick's age.
Well, somebody said that. They said that. Against Spurs, we're clearly maybe we're just playing defensive, and then in the last 20 minutes we're going to hit them. If you've played the game, defending is you conserve more energy with the ball than you do without it, and you're spot on essentially that we did a lot of defending and we're going to do a lot of defending today. I'm just looking at the team. I was a bit hopeful for the start because Fellaini seemed to be going high up the pitch. I think that's a tactic they use with Fellaini when we've got the ball. Carrick is definitely sitting. Lingard is on the right. Herrera's looking like he's playing at number 10. He's just fell over. So, yeah, it looks like Herrera's the head of the midfield with Fellaini and Carrick. The trouble is, this happened when we went out to Wolfsburg. Fellaini's meant to be that defensive midfielder, and he is a decent cross coming there. He goes up front. Fellaini, because I remember against Wolfsburg, Schweinsteiger just gets left on his own. So I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. But I'm not.
It's like sometimes he wants to play that 4-1-4-1, and in that front four behind the striker, Fellaini will sit in there. But sometimes he'll just get lost up front and forget that he does have defensive responsibilities. So, and it's unfortunate if you're playing there next to him in that 4. And, you almost have to worry about what he's doing and try and pick up some of his defensive responsibilities. Pyatt over the ball. He's a great, crosser of the ball. Great dead ball specialist, obviously.
Just a couple of you probably new to the United Stand. We are the United Stand fan channel. We do not show the stream of the game. It's a watch-along. We're Manchester United fans. We've had a very hard season. And the watch-along basically came about because a lot of us were just so bored and lonely of watching Manchester United that we thought, why not do a watch-along live so everybody can watch the game together, sync in with our match time, and we'll discuss the game as it's actually happening. So those shouting match, come on, we don't do illegal streams. It's illegal. This is a watch-along to watch the game however you want to watch it, or listen to us. Or some people don't watch the game. They watch us talking about it. There are people like that. But it is just a watch-along, live watch-along of the game for Manchester United fans who like talking about Manchester United. There you go. I've said my bit. 50-50. Oh, I've sort of silenced everybody there.
I think Rojo should have looked to cut back a little more. He kind of went to go in front of the face of goal. I thought he should have put it more towards the top of the box. He had Herrera there. That's another thing. Like I said, I'm just not impressed with his delivery of the ball. There was one game he did have a cross or two, but when you sit there and you talk about that, oh yeah, that one game he had one good cross or two. It's just not good enough. You have to be consistently doing it at a high level, and I think we forget about that sometimes, or maybe our expectations have settled down, but I want players consistently doing it the right way and consistently performing at a certain level, not just having one good game every 6 or one good game every 8. And I can't wait to see Luke Shaw back.
Yeah, I mean, Fosu-Mensah just the cross came in there comfortable. I was waxing lyrical about him at the weekend. West Ham already have put about 4 crosses in. I'm just looking at the stats there. 4 crosses have come in from West Ham already, and they've just had a very good chance there. They're absolutely all over United defensively. So not a great start. They've not had a fantastic chance, but they're getting chances to put the ball in the box, which I said they would do with a slow team. We've got a slow team.
That's Valencia, right? Number 11.
Yeah.
For them. I think he should have done. That could have been a goal right there. You know,
he's a great player. He is.
Yeah, clinical finisher puts that away though. He picks a corner. Instead, Valencia hits it right at him. Probably upset with himself. He probably should have done better. But yeah, this is going to be, you know, if you want to set up the counter attack, that's fine. But a little bit more mobility. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like the front three. I think that's a foul. No foul from the ref. A little shove in the back.
I think the thing with the front three is, well, I don't like Lingard. I'll be honest. I thought he was awful against Spurs. I think Lingard's saving grace is the fact that he might put a stone or two on, and then if he gets some bulk, he could be a very decent player for United. I certainly wouldn't say he's not going to be a squad player, and a squad player is very important. So that you can't just have 11 superstars. You need these squad players over a season. But when you've got Valencia, Ashley Young on the bench, Memphis, they should be playing. Lingard shouldn't be playing. Rashford, I think, needs a break, and I think the 3 I would have played would have been Young on the right, Memphis on the left, and Martial up front. And that is more
I can't disagree with that at all.
In a game like this.
Yeah, you get pace on the wing still, and I think, you know, Ashley Young and Memphis are different types of wingers. You know, Ashley Young can go by you if he needs to. He's got a few tricks up his sleeve. But more or less, Ashley Young's delivery is very good. You know, his crossing has gotten a lot better last season and this season, as opposed to those last few years under Sir Alex. And you can see the confidence last year, especially. You know, he's a great deliverer of the ball. Memphis will give you those tricks. He'll give you that. You know, he'll cut in and try and score. And we know what Martial can do. So I think those front 3 would have complemented each other well. Instead, he's going for Martial, Lingard, and Rashford. So we'll have to see what happens. I agree with Lingard being a squad player, putting on a little bit of weight, bulking up.
He's a late developer. I mean, he has. Yeah. He's shot up in height, but he was very, very small. NTI Gamer says we'll start to look like we're going to score before half time. Then West Ham will counter attack and score instead.
No, he'll sub on a fullback at striker.
Well, I think I was saying that before you joined us. Actually, I think the big problem again with Van Gaal is you can pick his substitutes, wasted substitutes, very early, and I think Rojo will be one. And I think Carrick, I can't see Carrick playing 180 minutes in 3 days. So Schneiderlin on for Carrick. So I've got no problem with that. But
he'll put Rooney on and move Herrera back.
Yeah,
you could see something like that. I think no matter what, Rooney's coming on this pitch because I see us needing a goal late. I see it either being 0-0 or us losing and us needing a goal. So I can see Rooney coming on. And talking about come on with the fouls. With the substitution thing, that was one of the things that he was supposed to be really good at. We saw him, sub the goalkeeper. We saw him sub on Memphis, I believe it was, against Mexico. Memphis comes on, scores 2 goals. I think it was that game. I'm sure somebody in the comments will blast me if I'm wrong and remind me which game it was. But this was a guy that was able to use a water break and change up his tactics, his formation. This is a guy, like I said, subbed on a goalkeeper in extra time just to get the psyche of the players from Costa Rica. But now his substitutions, they're just baffling because, like the World Cup, the goalkeeper thing worked. So, yeah, it's probably crazy at the time, and it worked, okay. But when you're subbing on fullbacks and you're putting Ashley Young in a striker and it doesn't work, we're all sitting here looking at you going, what the hell are you doing? So, yeah, his substitutions are more a hindrance on the game than they are a benefit. And he wastes them constantly, like you said. Starting Carrick, knowing he's probably going to have to come off. Ooh, nice cheeky go for goal.
Dr. Chunky Biscuit there, I just saw his comment there about that dive. It was a dive from Payet. I think he's a fantastic player, but he was going down clutching his leg. He wasn't touched on the leg. It was like a shove. But that's West Ham. They know that if they get decent ball into the box, it's going to cause United problems. And I can't see anything from us so far that would suggest we're going to counteract Andy Carroll because we're a very slow team from midfield to defence. But I was talking about Fosu Mensah. I do like him a lot. I think in the last 2 games, for an 18-year-old lad, he's been the standout player. And you can just tell about players whether, and injury permitting, obviously, but I think he's destined for great things at United. I think hopefully he'll end up being a defensive midfielder because he reminds me of a sort of Michael Essien type player. He's got that sort of build and speed about him, which is perfect. It's what we've needed for a long time. But the fact at such a young age he can play basically left back, right back, centre back, midfield, it is brilliant. He just looks.
Yeah, I agree. You have to have that variety of midfielder. You can't all just have, all right, you're a defensive midfielder. You have to have stuff in your game, and then you look for a partnership to complement each other. But yeah, Fosu Mensah seems to have it all. He's going to be a great, great player, and give him a 10-year deal right now. Kidding.
Yeah, well, Van Gaal did sign him. I'm not going to, Van Gaal's he hasn't got everything wrong.
No, he hasn't. Martial, another one. We were all sitting there when he was signed, going, "Who the hell is this kid?" But more or less, he was right about that one. And you know what? It's a shame because you wouldn't mind seeing him have some type of role at the club like that. Not youth director, but somebody who's on the youth scouting team, more or less, where he's not involved every day. He can look at certain players, give his advice because he has picked out some really good young players.
Riak asked me to read his comment out. I've just gone back and find it. Mark, if we lose today, they'll probably sack Louis Van Gaal because that would leave him with nothing to fight for. What do you, Joey, think? I talked about it a bit before, Riak. I think even if we lose 3 or 4-0 today, he won't get sacked tomorrow because the club are now in a position that I agree with. They should have sacked him ages ago, but I wouldn't agree with him being sacked tomorrow, even if we lose 4-0, for the simple reason it'll cost us about £10 million because top 4 isn't gone. It's not mathematically gone. We know there's a clause in his contract that once top 4's gone, he's not abided with his contract. He can be sacked, and they don't have to pay the full sacking fee. So it's not going to happen, unfortunately. That's my thought on it, Joe. Anyway.
And you know what the sad thing is top 4 isn't gone, and there are some winnable games. Bournemouth, Norwich. We should be winning these games, but we probably won't. That's the sad thing. Over Christmas, those games that we lost. City should be nowhere near the top 4. Any competent manager at United would have beat Norwich at home, would have beat Sunderland, would have beat...
The frustrating thing about City is that...
and they're in the semi-finals of the Champions League. They should be nowhere near the top 4, is what I'm getting at.
When they played West Brom at the weekend, people were getting all excited.
That's another game we lost.
The reality is they brought De Bruyne on with 20 minutes to go because they could afford to do that. They were playing... The Champions League could have been a massive help to us because they've got to play Champions League games. I'm sure they'll drop points. But we've to be 4 points off them is too much. We need, we've dropped too many points.
And how many games did we just name that are really, games you need to be winning? Norwich, the West Brom game, Sunderland was another one, Bournemouth away, Stoke away. I mean, I know that's a tough game, but this is Manchester United.
So home games as well.
Yeah, and even if you draw those games, that's 5 points right there. You're 1 point ahead of City with the more favorable schedule, and they're fighting in Europe, which is absolutely crazy that they're going to be in the Champions League semi-final.
Obviously the great thing about doing the United Stand is that everything is archived, and there are videos or articles that I said back in November when we had a run of games that I still to this day remember them. It was just West Ham coming forward there, but it was Watford away, Leicester away, Bournemouth, Norwich, and West Ham. And
we took
I think we took 2 points or something ridiculous like that. And I said,
we beat the first game. You said we won Watford away.
Yeah, we drew with Leicester.
Yeah, and then
I think we lost the next 3. Yeah,
yeah.
And the home games as well. Southampton at home. It's just we've dropped so many points. Or there's a break here. Herrera should have just gone into that then. This is the thing about West Ham and most teams.
What is he doing there?
There's just no desire.
You have to get that ball and try. I mean, obviously he's not that type of player, but come on, get stuck in. That just shows you that there's just no desire to play for. If that's me and it's a manager that's getting the best out of me, I'm going in face first for that ball.
Well, if that was Fellaini on a run there, it's a decent run as well. And Rashford shoots wide. Well, at least he, people, the Fellaini fans will be saying, "Oh, Fellaini went on a run. He's still crap." But at least he ran forward into a massive space that was in front of him. We should all applaud him because he ran forward into a big space. Well done, Fellaini. You've earned your money there, lad.
There ain't many of them. I mean, you'd be surprised how many could possibly be in a Fellaini fan club? 5,
I don't know.
6.
I still think there are those out there that would come and dig me out if he scored a winner today.
Well, of course. That's another thing. When you do these videos, I've noticed, no matter what, somebody will find something you said and then use it against you 6 months down the line. We're not perfect. We get things wrong all the time. I've been guilty of that myself.
Well, that's why I like having the live comment section up on the actual video now, because everyone else can see what we've been seeing for a long time. And if we don't repeat it, then people don't know.
I still don't like Blinn taking corners. I can't remember the last time we scored from a corner.
No, well, we did say that before, didn't we? It's.
I think we said it in the Sunday show or one of the last ones we did. I just can't remember. And then he tries. Excuse me. Then he tries to get really cute with the corner routines, and it ends up just being a disaster.
You just reminded me there, actually. I think it was Roy Keane who said it. Well, one of the things that annoyed me from very early days with Van Gaal was when he said, I don't argue with referees, I don't want my players doing this, that and the other. And people say, what a great man, really respect him for that. I do not. I've played sport, but I'm not going to use me. Roy Keane said it best. To be a winner, you can't be nice, because to be a winner, you want to win at all costs, and you can't be nice.
And wasn't Fergie just one of the most ruthless sons of bitches around too, man?
If you're a proper winner, you don't take referees' decisions like, oh, it's fine, ref.
Because if they do make a mistake, and if they do make a mistake, and you let them know your feelings, you're more liable to get a makeup call, in the next couple minutes, where maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's close and it looks like the ball came off of you, but because the ref knows he messed up and you let him know your feelings about it, he might give you that throw-in. We've seen it happen before plenty of times. Hyatt one-on-one.
We just have lacked all season
desire,
leadership, and that's the whole team, and that's the players maybe.
And when you don't get it from the players, maybe Wayne Rooney tries to do it and maybe he does it well. When you only have one leader like that, to me, you got to get it from your manager. Your manager has to realize that he either needs to bring in the player of that quality that can be a leader, or he needs to take it on himself. And he just doesn't seem like the type to do that. I know he's not the type to do that. And you look at some of the things that are said in his training methods and ex-players, he's just a stubborn prick.
Dan's Fever, has commented the night so far, just a line of Zeds. This is why we do the watch along, because you could just be watching it bored to tears on your own. At least you can interact with United fans here. Lynn Hall did just say before that she can't understand why Rojo's playing after his last 2 performances. No, neither can I. Fellaini's in. Oh, he just put it over the bar. Oh God.
No, it was a save.
Yeah, it was a save. But again, I've tweeted this out before. Hernandez missed a penalty and got sold. Fellaini has missed his last 22 chances in the box, and that's another one. And it was a poor.
Took a deflection. Yeah,
it was a poor shot, because it was a poor shot. Rubbish.
Yeah, that's getting saved no matter what it looked like.
The deflection actually made it better. But
yeah. Who is this keeper? Where's it? Is this just the FA Cup keeper for them? Because the other guy,
Brazilian guy, don't they?
The other guy's pretty good. The Spanish guy. Deep cross. What is that?
That's brilliant. That is. It's just absolute. Lynn Hall, stand up and take a bow, because Rojo has just been done like you get done at school when you're playing against the fat kid, because he's just basically lobbed it over his head and ran past him. A player who's being paid £10 a week shouldn't get done like that. He's a disaster.
You have to take the foul.
Yeah, it's disastrous. I mean, fair play, Smalling got back, but it's just pitiful. Rojo is.
And look at Slaven Bilic up there pointing it out, showing his team what he wants, letting them know. But that's the thing with Van Gaal. And he says it too. I don't like to get up. It's not what I do. I don't want. I want my players to figure it out for themselves, to think for themselves. Well, that's fine and all, but you can still get up and let your feelings be known, give a bit of encouragement. It's at first it didn't bother me that he didn't give up. Honestly, I didn't care. But now it's just like to the point where, come on, man, show us some passion. Because the fans, they think you're a joke, and they think you just don't give a shit, or you're just deluded, which obviously he is. But
too many touches. We're taking too many touches. Sometimes you just gotta Get it in
They're
the
trying to play
box.
tiki-taka.
Lingard should have just hit that when it came across. But to be fair, I will say, in the last 5 minutes, we've come into it a little bit more. West Ham had a lot of crosses.
It's funny because most of the games that we've seen this year, we've started kind of like West Ham have, where it looks like we might get a goal, and then about this time now, 17 minutes, 18 minutes, the other team climbs into the game, and they start to look like it, and now it's kind of a role reversal. You know, I just don't want penalties. I don't think my heart can take penalties today.
I mean, Fellaini did just win a tackle against a header against Andy Carroll, and people will be saying, "Oh, that's why we needed to pick Fellaini." My problem is, we're Manchester United. We should not be picking players to counteract Andy Carroll. We've never done it. We've never done it. Manchester United should be going, "This is my team. Deal with it." Not, "Oh, we need to pick somebody to sort Andy Carroll out."
But
this makes me
that's
sick.
the fear. The fear factor is completely gone at Old Trafford, just in general. People don't. People used to hear Manchester United and go, "Well, let's mark that on the calendar as a loss." If you're one of these mid-table teams or even one of the top teams, Arsenal. Oh, which we're probably not going to win that game. So where can we else pick up 3 points? Now you can't wait to play United because they're just going to be, what they're going to do. We're just so predictable. It makes our job look easy because, like I said, they're so goddamn predictable. You know how they're going to set up. You know the formation. You know the tactics. If you don't get a bit of brilliance from one of the youngsters, you're not going to win.
We are getting a lot of ball around the edge of the box. Good run there by Rashford. And was it Martial?
It was Rashford.
Yeah.
Corner.
We are coming into it a little bit, I would say that. Which is what we want. Every game starts off 0-0. There's no reason we can't win it. What I don't like at the moment, though, is that Fellaini seems to be getting a lot of our ball in an attacking sense, and I would have hoped that was Herrera's position, but Herrera seems to be playing...
Last ball went to the back post, way too far. Let's see how this one is. Here we go. We're trying to get cute with it.
I'd be amazed if we score from a corner. I would
Me
be
too.
absolutely amazed.
Especially because that team has a bit of height to it.
Yeah.
Bit of physicalness that I really like. So it is probably... that's got to be a foul, right? Yeah.
To be honest, I'm talking about West Ham a bit. I know he had a good game against Arsenal, but Andy Carroll tends to have a good game against Arsenal. I don't really rate Andy Carroll. I know he's had I don't think he's fit anyway, Sacco. But
would you bring him to France in the summer if you're Hodgson?
No, nowhere near. No, I don't like that sort of player anyway. And you've got Rooney, who will definitely go. Vardy,
Harry Kane,
and I think he'll take Welbeck. I think
Yeah.
Hodgson's probably hoping one of them get injured because Sturridge as well.
Yeah.
He's got to take Vardy. He's got to take Kane.
I would say he almost has to take Sturridge because I think when Sturridge is fit, he's a hell of a player. It's just when he's fit. But if he's fit and he's had a run of games, I think he has to take him.
I think Hodgson will be hoping that somebody gets injured. But yeah, going back to my point, I'd have been more fearful if they were playing Sacco, who's quick and powerful up front, than Andy Carroll, because Andy Carroll's he is one-dimensional. If you cut off the ball to him, he's not very quick.
Now he's going to score a hat trick.
The game is starting to go a bit like that at the moment. We are sort of nullifying Andy Carroll, and we're coming into the game a little bit more.
Well, Van Gaal's probably got him on his transfer wish list. I could sign Ibrahimovic, or I could sign that Geordie shit version of Ibrahimovic. I'll sign Andy Carroll.
Ibrahimovic won't play for Van Gaal, though, will he?
Yeah, exactly.
He's got his head
But
screwed on.
if he had the choice, Van Gaal would pull up. He'd bring up age, pick Andy Carroll because of that, and experience in the Premier League. They're not even in the same league. Ibrahimovic scored 15 goals, not even trying. And I think another thing I like that Ibrahimovic would bring is his swagger, his cockiness. That kind of rubs off on players. You almost feel invincible when that guy's in the team.
Yeah, I'd take him for a year for sure. People are asking
Absolutely.
about that.
I think it's got to be a 2-year deal, though. I think that's what he's looking for because of the MLS, and I think he's waiting for Beckham to get his situation figured out. Look at this. What is this? How are you going to let him... Is that Rojo that he just ran by on the halfway line? Here you go. Knocked it back. Unbelievable. I don't want to seem like me and you are picking on Fellaini and Rojo, but come the fuck on there. Excuse my language. You know, Rojo's standing on the halfway line. I didn't see who that was that had the ball. Runs past him. There's no, you know, I thought Rojo was a little quicker than that. Come on. I don't want to seem like I'm picking on him, but, you know, when me and you watched it with the City game, I said this is going to be a key battle. It's going to be him versus Navas. And it turned out to be a hell of a key battle. And then Rojo came off that game, I believe.
Oh, he'll be coming off this game. He'll be coming off in this game. He's
a fullback at United. You know Van Gaal's got a chub thinking about it.
He's it just seems the thing with Rojo at the moment is, and again, it just baffles you that you know, fans can see, as fans we can see this, and a manager who's paid a lot of money can't. He's getting skinned every time.
Yeah, I would have rather seen Ashley Young there.
Then.
That's a foul. Ooh. Thought we might see the first yellow card.
It just sends shivers down my spine. It's like someone walking over your grave every time you see Fellaini in a Manchester United shirt. There's Martial with a bit of space though. Fast play, you see. Surprise, surprise, it causes teams problems. Rojo, he has got a good cross on him, but it's cleared by West Ham. But Martial again picking it up. I mean, it made me laugh at the weekend when Louis van Gaal in his press conference afterwards came out and had a moan about
runs in behind.
Oh no, that won't be a foul. He's given a foul. And he's booked Carrick for that. The ball has gone, basically, Carrick's sort of in the right back position. Payet knocks it about 50 miles past him.
You don't give a card to the captain for that. Come on.
He's never catching that ball either. It's just not a foul. So Payet knocks it past him. Carrick barges into
space.
him.
It's close, but I don't see. I mean, I guess I can.
Carrick didn't do anything. I'm going with Keelan Johnson.
It looked like he knocked it into a bit of space and had the time to run into it. So that might have been what I'm just trying to get it from the referee's point of view.
I think there was a United player though who was just behind him, but
this is where you worry though. Similar position when De Gea got beat by Payet, and you're thinking, oh, he can't make it from out here.
It's come to nothing anyway. But what we 26 minutes in again, flying by, and. Not a lot happening. So anyway, it is live. It is the live comments box. You are part of the show with us in that little blue box there. Give us your thoughts on the game. We're just about halfway through the second half, just past it. Give us your thoughts on the game. What would you change? Who's doing well? What do you think of the setup so far?
I think we're going to see a lot of emojis of sleeping faces, angry faces, a lot of those Z's. Gibbs looks like he's ready for a nap.
Never a yellow. Mark, can you see this going to penalties? Stuart Marston? I hope not. I was hoping to, because it's a 7 o'clock kickoff, I was hoping to get upstairs for about 10 o'clock and watch an episode of Boardwalk Empire. I don't want to be bored watching penalties. But I don't want us to play like this to penalties. Penalties have their place, and I can think of many games I've watched in the past where games have gone to penalties and they've been exciting. But to be honest, I just hope it gets done in 90 minutes. And to be honest, a goal would sort this game out one way or the other. An early goal.
For either team.
Yeah, it would just change the game. Hopefully for us. But then what we do is sit back and defend. But Thomas Dodd, if United can score in the first I'll eat my hat. First half, I think you're spot on, Thomas, actually. This is now going to be I do this joke every week, so bear with me. I think it's the 740th time this season we've been 0-0 at half time if we do it. So
it's a crime.
There's so much criminal activity going on with Van Gaal.
I'll tell you what, when one of my friends asks me about football, because they know I'm really into it, I say, whatever you do, just don't watch Manchester United, because they fit into every American stereotype of football being boring and they don't score goals.
Yeah.
I tell them, don't watch them. Just watch any other game, but don't watch Manchester United, and you might find some interest in it.
It's a sad truth that this season I can't remember a game I've enjoyed watching Manchester United. Alex would say, what about Everton away? And I always quantify that with the fact,
first half. Yeah. That was it.
But Everton, it's like, it would be like Manchester United having to play Liverpool or any other side and an hour before finding out Sir Alex Ferguson had died. You know, Howard Kendall had died an hour before that game, and Everton were unrecognisable. Although, having seen Everton 2 weeks ago, I think I'd maybe give them too much credit. They are very
sacked.
Martinez should be getting sacked. For that starting 11 should be better than it is. Either way you dress it up, Everton were poor that day.
I think they need to replace Gareth Barry with a real defensive midfielder. I'm not too sure. I know McCarthy's a good player, but there's got to be, in the tactics, and they got some good players. They have a lot of good players, to be honest. Should be nowhere near where they're at. They should be doing a lot better.
When I play FIFA, I play as Everton a lot.
They're a fun team to play with.
I don't play with United a lot because I
can't. They're so boring to play with.
The latest team's not bad. If you're doing it lets you play. Like this afternoon, you could play as the current
Kickoff.
United side, yeah, because it's all Rashford and Martial are decent, but the one that on the career and everything like that,
that's terrible.
They're awful. They were awful last year as well.
Yeah,
they're just really slow and lethargic.
The only thing that you had was you had Di Maria last year and Falcao in the beginning. In the first month, it was okay because you had your choice of strikers. You could play Rooney in the 10 or in the CD. And I played with the Diamond. I played actually how they played, so it wasn't too bad. But eventually, it turned out to be crap. But yeah, they've been utter crap on FIFA for even in Sir Alex Ferguson's last year. They were terrible. I very rarely, if I'm playing somebody, I very rarely use them.
We can see your comments, Lynn, by the way. Sorry. You've just flashed up on the screen there as well. Robin Banks, don't know whether you're joking or not, but it's a good line. Thought the game started at 7. We are half an hour in.
Oh, again, Valencia, probably a little upset he could have done better there. Oh, hell no, you're not doing that.
Let's do it, Marson, Mark or Joey. Do you think Louis van Gaal has lost the players? I'd be disappointed if he hasn't, to be honest. I'd be really disappointed because it's abysmal. It's absolutely abysmal what's going on. And you would hope that the players have enough about them that they would be fed up and annoyed. But then again, they get paid a lot of money. Maybe they just think, you know what? I don't know.
I mean, there are players in sports that are comfortable playing for a crap team and a crap manager, and as long as they get their paycheck, they're okay. And, if they're all about the money, whatever. But
I think my man of the match so far, even though we're only half an hour in,
that's probably
again, it's embarrassing. I mean, it's great to have that sort of player.
But your right back shouldn't be your man of the match.
No, an 18-year-old right back shouldn't be your man of the match, not at all. But
got a bit lucky there because I think Pyatt was... Or no, that's not Pyatt. Never mind. Was that Lanzini?
I think as you look through that Manchester United squad, there's very few players. You'd be lucky to get to 5 who understand or are an interpretation of what we are as fans, who we would say they are a United player. I've always felt Herrera's got that potential to understand the United way, the forward pass, the passion. I think I'm struggling now. I even though he gets a lot of stick, I even think that 2-minute cameo from Memphis where he was fighting Kyle Walker just showed a little bit of fight that you need.
I've been asking for that all season. Just show a bit of fight.
Yeah,
I like that from Memphis. I absolutely loved it. Kyle Walker's a joke.
Well, I liked it from I think Fellaini did it when we played at Anfield. He got into a fight with somebody, and I'm not Fellaini's biggest fan, but if someone gets into a fight like that, I like it because it shows passion.
Remember the game, I guess it was against City, they thought, Rashford dived, and Lingard came over and, gave Di Michelis a shove. I like to see teammates sticking up for each other.
And you win a lot of tracks with the fans, definitely.
Schneiderlin could be a Manchester, I'd like to see Smalling get a little bit better, maybe a little meaner. I miss that cockiness that United players used to have. It's kind of gone now. I'm better than you, we're going to beat you. I don't care who you throw out there. We're going to score more than you. You can score a goal or two, but we're going to score way more than you.
Another United corner then. My thoughts when there's a United corner is it's a good time to go and have a wee or get a drink because nothing's going to happen.
And you're most likely going to get... I mean, I remember... I'm going to say it was December. It was in back-to-back games where we had a corner. And the other team just right off the counter... Boom, goes down and scores a goal. No problem, because we had too many men forward.
Well, we're fast approaching half-time and 0-0. I don't gamble, but I'm sure the bookies don't pay out on a 0-0 Manchester United at half-time. It must be ridiculously odds on. The thing of what I would say, Joey, and I've said this every time I get excited about the opposition. I was excited about Spurs. I was excited about West Ham because I have watched them in other games and they have been very good. And then you play them and you think, oh, they're not that good. It's not because they're not that good. Oh, he's in. He's got to be in. It's got to be 1-0. Oh, good chance for Lingard. Saved by the keeper. I think he should be taking that, to be honest. But that's a good chance. A really good chance. West Ham were caught outnumbered at the back. Fed him into the box. He's got to be scoring.
Yeah.
But Lingard's finishing isn't the best, unfortunately.
No. Something he needs to work on. But yeah, I think there again, pick a corner and go for it. I think he should have put a little air under the ball. But again, not really his forte. You would have rather seen I'd rather see Herrera in that position than Lingard.
You see, if we are adventurous in this game, which is what fans want, we've got Men
right
again,
there,
an absolute poor ball, which you'll just be seeing there.
What the hell was that?
I'm going to watch the chance again, and it's Rashford. It is Rashford who gets him in, and he's got to be scoring that. He doesn't do a lot wrong. He hits it low, but he's got to aim at the keeper's
near. You got to go near post there,
or in between his legs. As a striker, I wasn't a striker, but I always got taught when I was being coached that as a striker, hit it as hard as you can at the legs because they're always moving. So.
Yeah. But even there, that ball before, what is Herrera doing? He's got Martial. He's got him played in, and
I was just about to say that actually.
I'm not used to seeing that from him.
I said in the preview we need to attack West Ham, and we aren't. I wouldn't say we're attacking them, but there's a lot of space in the final third. If we're adventurous, we'll score. The best
defense is a good offense. Go out and play your game. Put them on the back foot. Wear them out. Make them chase. Make them chase the ball. Wave after wave of attack. But then again, they're probably told, don't do that.
I'm going to shock everybody in the comment section here. It started to rain now in West Ham, in London. This game is there to be won. It is there to be won. And I was saying that before. This game is there to be won. But what I was saying before is that, I've seen us play Spurs. They weren't that good. I know they had the 3 goals, but the first half they weren't great. West Ham haven't been great in this game. You get that a lot with Manchester United when they're playing teams like Man City and everything like that. The opposition are never as good as you think they are. But that is because of how we play. We're a nullifying team. We bore the game. We kill the game.
I think another thing is we never play to our ability. We always play to the other team's capability.
Yeah.
So if we're playing Norwich, excuse me, I know somebody will give me shit for that. If we're playing Norwich, no W, we'll play to their level. Or if we're playing West Ham, we'll play to, even City. We go to the Etihad, we beat City. We play a decent game. We play to their level. It's a problem that I would like to see us really, realize our potential in some of these players. I was going to say, oh, here we go.'s got the jacket on.
It's raining. He's getting wet. His
colours,
his colours are getting ruined.
Yeah, look at his notebook. He's probably got, oh, look at that. He got the beanie. He's probably got an umbrella for his notebook. Can't mess up those drawings of the kitty cats and the rainbows or whatever he draws. I was gonna say something. Oh, in our group chat, your buddy Alex says we need to take Carrick off as soon as possible. He hasn't been bad, but he's gonna get sent off.
He's on a red. Yeah, he's on a yellow.
But how often do you see Carrick get sent off? He's the type of player that's smart when he has a yellow card. I don't expect him, especially at his level. I'm sure he's been sent off.
Carrick, to be fair to Alex, Carrick is going to get taken off because we predicted that anyway. He can't play 180 minutes in 3 days. He's touching 35 and he can't do it. So this is Van Gaal again wasting a substitution because I think he'll take Rojo off. So that's 2 of 3 substitutions wasted, and they're 2 substitutions that aren't attacking substitutions. He just doesn't make many attacking substitutions. But this game, at the moment, as it stands, is there to be won. We just need to play adventurous football because West Ham are leaving a lot of space at the back, and they let 3 goals in against Arsenal. They're not a tight defensive unit. And to be honest, the Andy Carroll prediction has sort of come true. I don't really rate Andy Carroll. I don't. I think every goal he scores is just bad defending because you should.
Yeah, and also I think. With the price tag that was put on him when he went to Liverpool, and the injuries, and he hasn't lived up to expectations. So even if he does do a few things and he scores a few goals like he did against Arsenal, that's great. Okay, you did that, but you want to see a player do it consistently before you kind of get that. We get me and you. I'm sure like we look at a certain player and we have our thoughts on him, and you can't just change it because he scored a hat trick one game. You need to show me that consistently you can do that before I think that you're a quality player.
Danzy Gamer just said, "What's wrong with my eye?" So I'm looking at it myself now. I have got really, really bad toothache at the moment, though, so it could be something to do with that. I think it's going to be 0-0 at half time, which is a bit disappointing. The thing is, I'd never trust United as Rojo's got the ball here in a decent position. He's got a bit. Again, it's the extra touch in the box. It's the extra touch in the box that we don't need to take. Somebody hit it, especially in the look at the conditions. It's absolutely chucking it down. Hit the ball first time low. It's a nightmare for the keeper. We've just got to start.
When they have players like that in the box, they always say it in hockey: get the ball, hit it in front of the net. Deflections happen more times than not. Good things will happen if you get that ball and you hit it towards the net through a sea of bodies.
This is the sort of it's chucking it down the rain. It's an FA Cup quarter final. This is the sort of game I used to love playing in. No, I didn't play in many FA Cup quarter finals, but you can fly into the tackles. You're getting messy, you're getting dirty. You think, sod it, let's just
We're wearing white. Reminds you of a certain moment when we were wearing white in an FA Cup.
The thing is that we are taking over this game a bit. West Ham aren't at the races.
Yeah, like I said, remember I said we usually come out in the first 15 minutes. We look like we're going to score, and then the other team bosses us till halftime, and it's been a role reversal since that.
Slip him in there. 1-0. Oh, just if he'd have caught that, it's a decent cross. It would have been a brilliant goal as well. Fosu Mensah to Rashford.
Oh yeah, would have put a hole in the net.
Yeah. We are definitely. I'm not gonna. We can all be negative about Manchester United, but we are the better team at the moment. I don't think West Ham are playing very well at all, but we're getting a lot of space in the final third, and we seem to be playing in the final third a lot more, which I think is happens when you start playing under Herrera, because his passing has been a bit off a couple of times, but
he'll make himself available to Schneider or to Carrick and Fellaini. He'll drop, and Rooney does that well too. They drop into midfield to pick the ball up to start distributing it, and that's just not Lingard's game. So when you play him at number 10, I don't know why he's crying. He always seems to be crying about something. Probably his shit haircut.
It's the clash of the crap haircuts.
Oh, look at that. Little fist to the face.
He's always leading with his arm, though, Fellaini. I mean,
that's a hand. What is he doing?
That's not the sort.
Is he trying to punch it out? Does he think he's a keeper?
Oh dear, that's way over hit. Has kept it on, but Van Gaal is furious on the touchlines at the moment. Just they've shown him a couple of times. He's absolutely furious. He's chucking it down with rain, and he hasn't got a waterproof colouring book. It's ruined. So he can't wait to get to half time. He's going to send Giggsy down WH Smith to get him a new one. And
he wants the 64 Crayolas. He's got to have his variety.
Yeah.
You can never have enough blues and reds.
I've never seen him show so much distress and disappointment on the touchline. God, the fun we had this season.
What scares me is Pyatt's got on the ball a few times, but he's been relatively quiet, and I can't see us keeping him quiet for another half. And he's the type of player that'll find, they'll make an adjustment at halftime. They'll get Pyatt on the ball more. Everything they do well goes through Pyatt. So it's a little scary in the second half. That's why you want that first half goal. You want to give yourself that cushion, and you can't say that we haven't had the possession and a few chances.
I'll tell you what, I'm disappointed. We've got the Drawty Devil. It's the Drawty Devil studio. He's got us the interactive score. It could just stay at 0-0. We didn't need it to be interactive, but hopefully we will get a goal at some point. Yeah. It's not. We're not. I think we're dreaming with 2 minutes to go to half time. What we're going to talk about at half time then, Joey, so we can let people know.
Summer plans.
I'll tell you what we'll talk about at half time, because we are going to talk about it more in depth on Sunday. But for everybody who watches the watch along, I like to reward them with something at half time. So flying with some comments what he'd like us discussed at half time, but I'm thinking of maybe what a Jose Mourinho 11 would be. We're going to go massive on that on Sunday night about like what players he'd bring in. But if Jose Mourinho was manager, well, I think he should have been begged to take the job in January, and we would have got.
I think it's funny. I think Jose would be happy right now at the scoreline. Maybe not at the performance. I think he'd be happy at the scoreline. But then again, they're not too big of a team, or he would go on the road and park the bus. I think a Jose Mourinho team would be getting at these players, and I think. You look at a Jose Mourinho team, he's always got great wingers. He wouldn't be playing Carrick and Flaney, I'll tell you that much. I think he would be playing Schneiderlin and Herrera as the midfield too.
Well, I hope if we get him, he will sell Fellaini. I just.
Oh, of course! Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's a lovely. He's lost it.
He'll sell him in a heartbeat. Nice. Oh, you're about a second ahead of me again. 2 seconds. Not a bad player, Ogbonna, for them. Italian defender from Juventus. Didn't get a lot of playing time. No card. Come on. It's one of his first fouls.
He hasn't booked him, has he?
No, it looked like he was going to the pocket.
No, so what we'll do at half-time is we'll talk about Jose Mourinho, what his 11 would be from the current United squad. So not signings, what he would pick. Because I think, well, I've thought about it a little bit. On Sunday night, we're going to talk about the sort of players he will buy. But for now, we will just talk about his 11 that he would pick from the current squad, because I think it'd be very different. And I bet me and Joey don't agree, and I want to get some of yours as well. Deborah's saying Jose 11 definitely. We'll do that then. We will do that, and we'll get some of your thoughts as soon as it's half time. But we'll have a quick couple of minutes just summarising the game. That will be a long 2 minutes.
Do we get a fully healthy squad, or are we getting?
Oh yeah, if Luke Shaw's fit and everything, yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way in hell. Ooh, come on! This is the shit Rojo does. He gives away stupid fouls in dangerous areas like that. Kind of like Januzaj. Who was that again? Southampton, when Charlie Austin scored in the last 10 minutes. Stupid fouls in dangerous areas. Did he card him? He did.
Rojo.
That's him coming off the halftime.
Yeah, he was coming off anyway, wasn't he? He's awful. He's absolutely awful. Lynn Hall called it, and he is absolutely awful, Rojo. I cannot understand it. Borthwick Jackson is fit to play Borthwick Jackson. It just makes
Borthwick Jackson also has a hell of a cross on that kid.
Yeah, and he's pretty flawless.
Yeah,
what was the game that I remember watching it, and I was tweeting it out because we weren't doing the watch along at the time, and I said this is going to be a make or break game. Well, not a make or break game, but his first big test for Borthwick Jackson. It was against
Bournemouth away.
No, it was against somebody decent on the left wing. That's got to be a booking. He is booking him. Fair play to the ref.
He's not even close.
Yeah, I can't believe it wasn't Man City because he didn't play in that game, but it was somebody. Maybe it was somebody decent on the right.
He started around Christmas time, I remember.
That's a blatant yellow card. That is. So yeah, I would play Borthwick Jackson as well. To talk about the future.
I'd probably play Darmian there at left back. I know he didn't have, the greatest game, but you can't pin everything on him.
Half time then, BBC do tend to dwell on the player that they think have been man of the match, and they've
dwelled on
Fellaini and Lingard.
Stand, though. People just find a player and they just make him a scapegoat.
Joe Hayward's just said, "What are our thoughts on the the thought that Mourinho ruins clubs?" I think people who criticise
Real Madrid are doing all right.
Yeah, I think the people who criticise Mourinho for that sort of reason needs to really not even wake up and smell the coffee. Just needs to look at the state Manchester United are in at the moment. Beggars can't be choosers, is my point. But let's quickly cover that first half, Joe, and then we can get into what we want to talk about, which is Jose Mourinho and what 11 he would have picked today if everybody was fit. First half, West Ham got a few crosses in early on, but it was boring. But having said that, I think United are so not used to having attacking play and chances that our shooting was poor. We should be ahead. We were marginally the better team. We were creating the better
a little
space.
Too quiet for my liking. What about you?
Yeah, but you know what? I think Martial as well. I think he. Let me just get Joey back because he disappeared there. I think Martial as well is.
Might be a little tired. I mean, he's played almost every game. It feels like.
Yeah. Well,
But
he
I
has
would
played.
say,
He doesn't give anybody a rest, does he? That's why we pick up injuries. He doesn't give anybody a rest.
and I would
Rashford needed
say
a rest.
that obviously, I'm disappointed that we didn't get the goal, and I don't want to. I don't always want to sound so negative because that's not the type of person I am, even or But it's so depressing watching this team. But you could really you could see West Ham scoring in the 75th minute off a counterattack, out of nothing, out of absolutely nothing, out of a mistake. I think
There's
if
a
we're gonna
better ball
score,
there. I mean, just watching a Fellaini chance back there, and that's the problem. And I said that in the first half. Fellaini's picking the ball up in the attacking space, and he's crap. Whilst he fed the one
I think
person,
that
he should have
if
played
a
it the other
goal
way.
is going to come for either side, it's going to come off a mistake. I think it's going to be whoever makes the biggest mistake, the first mistake and the biggest mistake. And I'm not saying, give the ball away in a certain area. I'm talking about a real big mistake. And whoever can capitalize on that, I think that's where the winner comes from. I don't think, I don't want it to go to extra time. I really don't want to do penalties because the last few penalty shootouts, was it Middlesbrough? They were absolutely atrocious. So... But yeah, the first half, there's nothing memorable. Obviously, Fosu Mensah's absolutely killing it.
Oh, yeah.
Carrick's doing a good job protecting the back four. Smalling did a few good, track backs. Blind, hasn't been bothered. Rojo, horrible.
Controversial,
Lingard,
that.
Yeah.
Saying Carrick's playing well. People won't like you for that.
I think he's doing his job all right. We are understand. He's shielding the back four, and he's keeping the ball moving. I think he's doing that just fine enough. Just because he's not scoring 40-yard screamers. But...
I tell you what, Zane Charles said it as well. We've got Wayne Rooney on the bench, and I've been critical of Rooney this year. I don't think he's been anywhere near his best under Van Gaal. But actually, in this sort of game, I wouldn't mind seeing Rooney because at least the thing about Rooney is he's an experienced professional, and I think he'd hit some of these chances first time. And we need to start doing that because.
And if you're looking at penalties, you want a guy like him on the pitch.
I think it's a shame that we will not get young Memphis and Rooney on because he's going to waste two of them substitutions, taking Carrick off for Schneiderlin, and Rojo will come off as well. So we're only going to get probably Rooney on, but I would love to see Memphis in this game.
Well, he might put Ashley Young at left back.
Yeah, but that's not where we want to see Ashley Young, is it? We want to see him in the Lingard position.
But I'd rather see him at left back than not at all. And if that means because Valencia hasn't really played at left back. But he could move Fosu Mensah across and play him at right back. So, there's a few options, but you're right. Rojo and Carrick already, Rojo not performing, Carrick too many minutes in too little time, and they're both yellow carded. I think they're shoo-ins to come off.
Yeah, I thought they were before the game, but yeah, they definitely will be. I suppose the other thing to factor in, we'll move on to the Mourinho stuff now because this is a boring game. I don't think West Ham can be much worse, and Bilic is a very good manager, passionate. I think he'll get more out of them in the second half. So, interesting second half. Let's fly into it then, Joe. If you give it much thought, I have. I think we're talking here, and everyone else get commenting as well, what your Jose Mourinho 11 would be if he was manager now, not what he's going to buy or anything like that, because we're going to get into that in more depth on Sunday night. But 11, rather than going independently, let's go right. We're going to play pretty much probably the 4-3-3, aren't we? So, unless you're going to argue with that. And I would go, obviously, De Gea in goal.
Yeah,
you're not going to argue there. Right back, to be honest, I would probably go Fosu Mensah. And I think this is a good place to start with Mourinho, because a lot of people like to have a go at him, saying he's not about youth. I think if you're good enough, you get in his team, and Fosu Mensah, he will have seen is good enough, and he plays at right back. Any arguments for
that? I think he would play Darmian, personally.
Well, I like Darmian. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, but I could see him playing Fosu Mensah too. Smalling.
Calvin Carrick's picked John Stones, Sanchez, Mahrez, Martial, Ibrahimovic. Yeah, nice, but we're doing what we've currently got. So
to be honest, though, I could see those players right there: Stones, Renato Sanchez, Mahrez, Ibrahimovic, and maybe Igalo. I could see those 5 players shoo-in to join United because a lot. I know we're not talking, but quickly, they're all Premier. 3 of them are Premier League proven, and they're young, some of them. And I think if you brought those into the current team, I think we'd challenge for the league, no problem. No problem.
I think Renato Sanchez is more or less a given. I think that's going to happen, and he's a very, very exciting player, young player again. So, I'd like that. Centre backs is very interesting.
Smalling's unanimous,
Yeah.
obviously. I think when he's healthy, he's actually a decent player. I think he would play Phil Jones if everybody was healthy.
Yeah, I was thinking Rojo because I think it's a left-sided centre back, but
obviously,
based on what we've got,
we both agree that there's going to be a new centre back coming in if Mourinho's coming.
Yes,
so,
yeah, definitely. But based on what he's got at the moment, yeah, I don't think it would be Blind.
No,
Mourinho likes a solid defence, and he doesn't like playing the two defensive midfielders, so he wouldn't play Blind. Left back is Luke Shaw, obviously.
Yeah.
Now midfield, I think Herrera and Schneiderlin. And
I completely agree.
I think he wants that dynamism. I use it a lot. That speed. Useful.
Isn't Herrera almost like a Fabregas midfielder to you? You know, creative, can score a goal, gets about. You know, maybe a younger Fabregas. And then Schneiderlin kind of reminds you of Nemanja Matic. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd go with those two.
Who's your number 10?
I think Rooney.
Yeah, me too. Same.
Striker, I think, is difficult. But I think you've got to deal with what we've got, and I think he probably would go. I think he probably would go.
I don't think he puts Martial there because I think he likes the tracking back on the right side for Martial.
I think Martial probably plays on the left for that reason, and I think Ashley Young on the right because again,
I think
hardworking.
Opposite. I think Martial plays on the right, and I think he plays Memphis on the left. Because we've seen, with Hazard, with Ronaldo, we've seen that player on the left. He kind of gives them that freedom to cut in and score. And I think he would get the best out of Memphis. And I think that, I think he'd play Memphis on the left.
And
it's you know what I mean?
He wouldn't play Mata anyway. There's no way Mata's getting
No, he's not playing Mata. I think he'd be forced to play Rashford. Because I think he's the only other striker that you have.
So we'd pretty much go, if Mourinho is in charge now, and look at how it differs with what Van Gaal does quite a lot, and I much prefer it. I think Mourinho's team, or we think Mourinho's team, would be there in goal. Either Fosu Mensah or Darmian at right back, left back Luke Shaw, Smalling and Rojo or Jones as centre backs. We both agreed Schneiderlin and Herrera as the midfield.
It's crazy because if you look at it, our back seven are all players that play in their position. Two center midfielders, you pick Fosu Mensah, who's a very capable right back, so I'm not going to say that position's alien to him. I picked Darmian, who's a right back. We all and we put two center backs in, we put a left back in, we put a goalkeeper in, and then even up, in the front, we each put a winger in there and a number 10 and a number 10. So I think that's crazy, but we're sitting here talking about playing players in their position like it's something that we shouldn't, it's something that should be done, but we're almost talking about it like it's something crazy to us. Especially, it has been under Van Gaal. Play players in their positions is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, Kurt says he wishes Giggs became our new manager, not this rubbish.
Have a talk with yourself. No way, you cannot take a chance on Giggs. You look at, all right, what did they say? We're about, £400 million, I think it was, lost in value in these last 2 years. Now imagine Giggs comes in. That's a massive risk because you don't know how he's going to do. Say he does as good as Van Gaal does, or as bad as Van Gaal will say. You're still losing money. Now your club's lost almost £1 billion worth of value. You can't take that risk. That is why I've said it, and I'll continue to say it. I'll sound like a broken record. The next manager at Manchester United has to be a home run. You cannot miss on the next one because you've already missed on David Moyes. You've already missed on Louis van Gaal. 3 strikes, you're out. Now the money's gone, and you're Liverpool. And all you're doing is sitting there talking about history.
Yeah, well, we've said it before, haven't we? The years are tracking up. It's 3 years now. It'll be 4 years next year. We won't be in the Champions League next year. 4 years becomes 5 years, becomes 10 years. You are the next Liverpool. And I think people think that's not going to happen because of the amount of money and how big Manchester United are. But unfortunately...
You don't think those Asian fans will go support a new team?
I was about to say, yeah. There's hardcore Manchester United fans, and there's fans who support Manchester United because they are the biggest team in the world, and they will go. They will go.
I'll put it to you like this. If anybody watching knows American basketball, all the Lakers fans, they're now Warriors fans. all because I see it on the comments. I see it, and the Asian guys from Indonesia and all over there. You look at their profile picture. Go a couple back. It's Kobe Bryant. It's the Lakers. Go to their current picture. It's Steph Curry and the Warriors. They will jump ship like there's no tomorrow.
Man City, they'll take our fans in Asia, no problem. I'm not saying exclusively. What I'm saying.
No, we're not saying every single fan, but you will lose fans. It's just inevitable.
I mean, I'm the majority of people who are watching this show, Joey, me, Alex. I'm not. We get relegated. I'm still doing the United stand. I'm not
absolutely.
We're not doing the empty had stand.
And I guarantee a lot of the United. I don't think there'd be any United viewers that would be like that. But there are some people out there like that. You see it. You know it. Your friends. I go out now, and I was where was I? I was somewhere. Somebody had a Leicester jersey on. Come on, you didn't know about them 2 years ago, even last year. Now that they're in first, success breeds popularity. People want to support winners. They want to see exciting football. They'll go support another team.
And we've got a lot of fans. We've got a lot of fans because we were winners for 25 years.
You think they just happen to like Manchester United because they like the colours?
Yeah,
no.
We built that up over its success. You take that success away. There's not many fans out there who support Liverpool. Jimmy says, "What do you make of Fellaini so far?" Crap. I do. He's a professional.
I don't think he's made any mistakes, but you're right. It's like he's sailing through the game.
He's a professional footballer. He's not going to fall over every time he gets the ball.
But that's also not to say that other players haven't, been good either. I don't think, like I said, I don't think he's been crap, but that's just his normal, that's his standards. So, and you look at the whole team, they've all been crap because we haven't scored a goal and we haven't created enough chances. But yeah, Fellaini, it shouldn't be starting, and if he does start, we both said it, start him up front, number 10.
There's space in this game in the second half to get some goals, and I think we just need to be far more clinical.
Can we get a score check on the other games?
You can do.
There's 2 Champions League games on, and you said a Premier League game?
Yeah, they've only just kicked off. 0-0 Barcelona and Barcelona 0, Crystal Palace 0-0 with Everton.
Wow, the semi-finals are 2 weeks away.
Yeah, well, this is the problem, isn't it? Because if we don't win and we go out, we've got another bloody international break coming up because we don't play for 2 weeks if we're out because the opposition is
the international breaks.
Palace are playing. We would have been playing Palace, but they're in the cup, so.
So they're showing this on Fox, the 2001 FA Cup 4th round. Who is that, Di Canio? 1-0.
Oh, you must be getting the same as what we get here.
They showed that too?
I've just seen Di Canio score a goal, yeah. Against Bradford.
Yeah, 2001.
This goal needs a game, folks, anyway. Let's get cracking back with United because we do need a goal. And
I'll tell you what, man. If they do the right thing this summer, I mean, my level of excitement for the season in the summer is going to be brutal.
I can't wait. I was saying this to on the preview yesterday at the end. I said, as bad as this season's been, I think it'll almost make the summer fantastic because if we sack Van Gaal straight away, we get Mourinho in. There's so much.
And the thing I love about Mourinho too, is he will not shit and dick around in the transfer window. He will have all those players that he wants in, and then maybe he chases a top quality superstar for a month and sees if he, like he did. He was chasing Rooney. He was chasing Stones, Pogba. Yep.
Let me just sort the time out so everybody knows.
I'm at 45, 26, 27.
Isn't that wrong?
Yeah, this summer will be great if they do the right thing.
There we go. Yeah, so I think it will be as well. I think it'd be exciting for last summer was horrible because we were doing shows about Robin van Persie going, which I never wanted. This year, hopefully, we'll be doing it about Fellaini going. So there'll be players going, there'll be players coming in. the thing that just needs to happen is Van Gaal gets sacked, Jose Mourinho comes in, and then this summer is going to be really exciting. And obviously, we know you all love transfer shows. We've got loads of transfer shows planned through the summer.
Don't they ever, man? The fans, I mean, and I do it too. Isn't that the best part about FIFA doing the transfers?
Yeah,
that's just the best part when your team signs new players and then you get to see them play.
Optimism.
Yeah, it's great.
We've got the Euros as well. I am looking forward to watching Smalling in the Euros because I think he's had a very good season, but I think he gets a lot of protection in the United team, and it'd be interesting to see how he does in a side that doesn't play so defensive. We've got a few other players, haven't we? You know.
Not just that, you have a real good chance of going deep in that tournament. England does, I think.
But is Carrick? Yeah, he is on. I thought he'd come off for a minute. But Herrera's playing very deep. Fellaini's playing more as the forward player, which is.
You wonder if that's a tactical switch or is that planned? Maybe they planned it, played defensive.
Fellaini seems to be the head of the midfield because he's had the ball a couple of times and he's running forward with it, and that's the problem. That's not his game at all. But he's in there to provide some physical presence, and if we win, Louis van Gaal will call himself God again. But
I like the ball movement so far in the first half.
We're getting a lot. We're always getting a man over. I mean, that's a
play him in.
One thing that's happening again, and it happened in the first half, is we're getting a lot in the final third, which is why I hope we keep doing it because we don't normally do it. Is we are getting a lot of. We seem to get a man over a lot of the time.
I like the shuffling of the players. As one player passes, he keeps moving, and I've noticed that too. When we're in those bad runs and we're losing games, I notice that when the players have the ball, there's no movement off the ball, and I think that's crucial. In this game, in every game, is how much effort you put in off the ball. It's what you do off the ball. You make yourself available. You make a run into space to take a defender, to open up space for your teammates. I think that's crucial. I think you need to really buy into that and really, have your teammates back.
I'll tell you what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it now because I don't want to be called negative. If this game continues as it is, I expect Manchester United to win it because West Ham are not in it. And they're
I'm the opposite. I can see them nicking a goal on a counter-attack, and I'm usually the one who could see the goal coming, but...
Well, it is all United, and it was pretty much the same for the second half of the second half.
What minute are you in second?
I thought he'd scored then. 3:50. You're about 2 seconds behind, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm about a couple seconds behind.
That's not bad from Lingard, but
no, that's a good shot.
His shooting's a bit leaves a lot to be desired anyway. But at least he's having a go. It's fine. Lingard again, if you're going to be critical, which I like to be. His final ball in every sense isn't great, whether it's crossing or shooting. Although he had a good run of goals, didn't he? But yeah, going back to that, Joe, West Ham just aren't in this game at the moment.
And that's what's scary is that Payet will show up with a minute, even just a minute of brilliance, and they'll be 1-0 up heading to the semi-final. I like our chances against Everton. I do.
I think the winner of this game has a massive chance of winning the cup.
Yeah.
We would be favourites because we should be favourites in this game with the money we've spent, the team that we've got. 100% we should be the favourites, but we know football's not really been like that this season for Manchester United.
Here we go. Got to get cute on the corner routines. Just put the ball in the damn box.
Oh, he's played on. Poor ball, unfortunately.
That ball was going towards Rojo anyway, or Lingard, so it really didn't matter.
We are. I mean,
well, at least I'd like to see Herrera kind of going in for that ball there. He did. Remember in the first half, I was a little critical of him.
Let's look at some of your comments. The mopey face is annoying me, says Callum Azar from Lee Van Gaal. Why has Memphis been completely dropped from the team? Makes no sense, says Abs. What is Fellaini doing? Kush? I don't know. It's meant to be an impression.
There's got to be some stuff going on in the training ground and off the pitch with Memphis.
Thomas Williams, do you think Rooney and Memphis should come on? Yeah, I do, but I don't think we'll get that lucky because I think he'll make 2 defensive substitutions as he always does. And also, the way this is going, although we're in control,
you'd probably bet more on 0-0 extra time than Manchester United in front. West Ham have done absolutely nothing. I mean, that's a long shot there. It's never going to beat De Gea from there. But West Ham have got to really improve because they haven't. I can't remember a chance. You know, like when we played Spurs at the weekend, they were getting, you know, chances they should take. West Ham have been really off.
What do we have? Just one shot on target?
We are dealing with them quite comfortably. Fosu Mensah with a recovery tackle there. Comfortably, my man of the match so far, Fosu Mensah. I mean, on Memphis, apparently the rumour out of Old Trafford is that Ryan Giggs is just despairing with him, and he's like showbiz sort of attitude and style. But again, are we not doing any homework about what he's like anyway? You know, he's not just suddenly been born at Old Trafford. He was at PSV last year. I didn't know loads about him, but he was a very arrogant, up himself player last year, and it worked. We just don't seem to do our homework at Old Trafford anymore. Most notably with Louis van Gaal, because if they'd looked into Louis van Gaal's career, they'd have realised the sort of football he plays, and it's very much what he's done for the last 18 months. Let's have a look at some of the comments. Austin Arsenaut says West Ham not a good side. Ewan Fitzgerald, what a tackle. Fosu Mensah is going to be special. D Hammy 26, what do you think of Pablo Dybala? Benzema not picked for the Euros. Yeah, because
he said, yeah,
he's
well,
in trouble, isn't he?
Yeah, and back to that previous comment, Dybala is going to be special. He already is special.
Here we go.
Somebody I really wanted us to look at.
Oh yes! What a goal! What a goal! Fantastic!
Woo!
Get in! Brilliant! Absolutely
Get in
sensational!
There. Out of nothing.
That'll teach you to have a pop at him. Brilliant goal.
Keeper has no clue what just hit him. Yeah.
Let's have a replay of that. I had a perfect view. Not that we're at the
What
ground,
a goal.
but it was absolutely perfect.
Pick the corner and put it in there.
Yeah, well, talking about how fitting that.
Bad pass. Who's that on the ball? Martial plays him in.
Yeah.
It is Martial with the assist. Awful West Ham mistake. I said it. It's going to come from a mistake. There it is. Comes off of Herrera right to Martial. He looks up. Rashford just that's incredible. That's a great goal.
Yeah, no deflections,
That's
nothing.
looping
goal. Right into the crossbar in the top corner.
Yeah, in between two defenders. I don't know what Tompkins is doing there, showing him.
Oh my God! You couldn't nearly finish any better than that. Absolutely superb.
Great goal.
Oh, Van Gaal liked it.
Terrible defending.
Think about when Van Gaal gets up and celebrates, though. It's like I said to do that. That's exactly what I've told him to do.
Or like he's the one who scored it.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about Dybala anyway, or however you pronounce it, and Rashford just sort of showed us that there's already a striker at Manchester United who.
Yeah. I think Martial and Dybala are the next, two. Maybe they're not. They're different. Their games are definitely different than Suarez and Lewandowski, but I think in terms of strikers and goal production, I think Martial and Dybala are of that quality.
Well, there's a lot of people in the comments there we'll bring in. There's a lot of people going Rashford, and this is what we support Manchester United for. Happy, young, local talent. We've been talking about Fosu Mensah, but Rashford probably means more to us because he's English, local lad, and I love Fosu Mensah, but it means
probably
more.
A shame we scored that so soon. Now, I just knowing what Van Gaal will do, and knowing the substitutions that are coming.
There's an attacking intent that we don't normally have, and West Ham just look really poor. In fact, I think, you know what? If we were more of an attacking side, we're 2-0 up there because.
Whoa! Where's Rojo at?
We're suddenly playing with some confidence, attacking with a better team in this game. We don't want it to get stretched, but Andy Carroll's not. They need to take Carroll off if they want to do something about this. Because
look at this. We got 4 defenders running back and 5 West Ham players running in.
No penalty. Not away penalty. But a lot of you are saying in the comments section there, as he loses his earpiece, that Rashford for Euros, etc. No way. Don't want him anywhere near them. Don't want Luke Shaw to be anywhere near the Euros.
You don't want to ruin your players
No.
because the media will get all over him. Obviously, he probably won't play a lot. It's almost like I remember thinking this a few years ago when Luke Shaw went to the World Cup over Ashley Cole. And I thought, well, he's not going to play anyway. Why are you taking him? So he can just go on you're taking him for a vacation, pretty much. Let him go play in the tournament. I think it was an under-21 tournament that summer. Let him get a bit of international play and bring him along. But for some reason, they took Luke Shaw to the tournament, and he didn't even play. And if he did, it was in the last game, and it was meaningless.
Somebody just reminded me to do something, which was an absolute pleasure. It's now 1-0 to Manchester United. We've christened it. I you know what? I've got nothing against people playing for England, but Rashford's 18 years of age. He's going to have a very good season, even if it ends now for Manchester United. He's had an amazing first...
no matter what, even if he scored on the senior side 1 goal, it wasn't expected.
So he needs to go off. He's 18 years of age. You give him a break. And the same with Luke Shaw. He's been out for the whole season. Why do we want him to come back and give him the summer off? He'll be totally fresh for United. I want England to do well, but I want Manchester United to do well even more. And I don't want Rashford to go and play for England. He's got plenty of time to go and do that.
No, because you're looking at you were talking about who were we talking about? We're talking about taking Harry Kane and Vardy, Rooney, and Sturridge.
He likes Welbeck.
Yeah, Welbeck, Sturridge. I think you're all right in that department. I don't think you need to bring Rashford.
Callum Azar, you're not blocked because you've just popped up on the comment section there. Rashford's a great talent, but we do this with our young players. We run them into the ground, and we don't need to do that. We don't want him to go.
Let them be young kids. Let them, do a summer tournament with kids their own age and.
Plus, he's not the finished article anyway. Take Vardy, take Kane, take Rooney, take Sturridge or Welbeck. They are, they are at the peak of their powers more or less. And leave Rashford for the next tournament. Let him grow. Summer off will be better for him than training his arse off for England all summer, because the Euros don't finish until the start of July. And you're in China in.
That's another thing that's going to suck is every time there's a summer tournament, signing players.
Yeah, it is going to be slow, and then it's going to go quick, isn't it?
Yeah, so he might want to get the business done before they leave, hopefully. That's the thing. Moyes took over, what was it, July 1st. You got to get Mourinho in there June 1st. I think he'll be, he won't want a summer vacation. He's going to want to get in there, get the players in, start nailing down the way he wants to play. And I think Mourinho wants to get, challenge for the title next season. And he's going to want to show... Ooh. And he's going to want to show players or show people and everybody that Chelsea, half a season this year was a fluke, and that he's the real deal. And I think he will. I can't believe I'm really confident of him coming in. That's not a foul.
I think the interesting thing from United so far, and since we scored the goal, is so far we haven't done the normal trick of sitting back, because the second goal is, and it's right, and any decent manager would do it, so I'm not going to give Van Gaal loads of praise, but at least he's doing it. The second goal is ours to get, and then it's game over. Because West Ham, I'm amazed they haven't took Andy Carroll off. He's just not doing anything, and it's making it very easy for us to defend. Is that Herrera? It's Herrera.
That's Victor Moses, isn't it? Coming on?
Yeah, Victor Moses, yeah. But
you feel like he's 40 years old by now, but I think he's 25.
Yeah.
Feels like he's been around forever.
Played for a lot of teams, hasn't he? Wigan, Liverpool, Chelsea.
I think, and speaking on the Mourinho thing, I think it's interesting. You're starting to see players as well. Ibrahimovic say, if Van Gaal sacked, I wouldn't mind going there. And Lukaku, I would, his dad comes out, says he needs to go to a Bayern or a Manchester United. And then you even hear him say, I would be happy to work with Mourinho.
I think United
again. So I think that they've been putting it. I think it's obvious it's happening. I think it's obvious that Van Gaal's getting sacked no matter what. And I think the best thing that could happen, I think that would make this a smooth transition. I know we're not getting top 4, but if he wins the FA Cup, he goes out a winner. He gets to retire a winner, and I think that's something that'll be appealing to him.
Abs21 makes a good point. If West Ham want to get back in this game, they need to target Rojo's side.
Which is what we've seen teams do. You know, we saw Tottenham do that. We've seen other teams, Everton with was it De La Feu and Coleman. We've seen them do it. You can have success going at him.
I think United's season has been, and watching it back, you probably might think the same, Joe, is that it's been very, very secular, and you can see, there's trends that just keep repeating themselves. I've been very consistent that Van Gaal needed to go from the week before Christmas, 100% Van Gaal out, and it's not changed. And I know a lot of fans have, but there's been that, I'd say a large percentage where it just keeps going round in a circle. We beat Man City and Everton, and people were like, oh, if he can get top 4, he should stay. We lose against Spurs. Oh, he's got to go. He's the worst thing ever. I think
that's the nature of the game.
If we win tonight, we'll definitely beat Villa on Saturday because they are absolute rubbish.
But and
people are
like
saying we can get top 4, we can win the FA Cup, he'll stay again.
Oh, we've seen patterns like that all season where they win a few games and then they lose a shocker. And even over Christmas. No, I waited. I was Louis Van Gaal in, and then I was over the Christmas break. I'll give him a few more games, and it didn't come true. And I've stuck to it since January. I've been Louis Van Gaal out. But you're right. There are people that will see him win this game. We're going to beat Aston Villa, and then they're going to be, well, if he gets top 4. And you can't be like that. It cannot be like that because we will drop points. We'll probably lose. May drop points against Leicester. I think we will. There's another game in there. I'm trying to think.
Well, the good thing is we are 25 minutes away from Wembley, and
that's great. Yeah, but look, if we're not getting top 4, I've conceded defeat on that. But if we could win the FA Cup and send him out, it could be a smooth transition. I'm sure he already knows he's leaving, unless Ed Woodward's like a coward. You almost seen that, right? Ed Woodward has these plans, and maybe he says one thing to Van Gaal's face. Oh, you're staying, you're in a job, you're staying, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. But behind his back, and that's the type of person I think Ed Woodward it could be. He's sitting there going, oh, this guy, he's hired Mourinho behind his back. Ed Woodward could seem like a snake. But that would be great if he could win the FA Cup and just he could leave a winner. It's mutually beneficial that he leaves. I don't.
Fosu Mens with a last-ditch tackle there. It wasn't enough to be a penalty, but
no.
It needs to be
but he could have gone down and made the referee make a choice.
The thing that worries me about it is, and I've been quite open about this, is that if somebody said to me, if we win the FA Cup, Van Gaal stays. If we lose it, he goes. I'll sacrifice the FA Cup because I love the FA Cup, but it's not a big enough prize to keep Van Gaal. It's not Champions League football or anything like that. That's my only concern. But I would love us to. I would love us to win the FA Cup. I want us to win this game.
What you would love that. How about we win it and he leaves still?
Yeah, that's the win-win situation, isn't it? Because I don't want I don't want that international break coming up when we're out the FA Cup and we can't play a game because Palace is still in it. We've got 25 minutes to stay in the FA Cup, and the way this game's gone,
I want us to know. I want to get another goal.
We're going to win it.
I need another goal though.
Such a good goal. Such a good goal from Rashford. Keeps got.
I love the footwork. I love the footwork by him. Fakes like he's going to take him down the outside. Almost does. It's not a step over, but he just. Where is it? Right there. Fakes like he's going to the outside. Cuts it back in. Doesn't let the second defender come over in time to help. Picks a corner. Puts his head down. Follows through and puts it in the top corner. That is just. It's just such a sexy goal.
You can sort of read a game, and I don't like to put a jinx on it, but we should not be losing this game from this position. We're totally controlling the play.
Isn't that the? I remember a stat, and I didn't write it down or anything, but it was talking about how many goals we had given up in the last 10 minutes a game. Come on, you have to see Fosu Mensah earlier than that.
Of course, the downside if we win is that we will see more of Fellaini, but.
He didn't play him against Everton, did he?
No, he didn't. No. Oh, 2-0. No. It's his. It's his 2-0. It's fucking Fellaini. God, I can't believe it. Marouane Fellaini gets him on the knee. He hits him on the knee and it goes in. But it's game over. It's game over. It's game over. I'll have to tweet it out. I mean, I've got to give him some credit.
Is that not the comedy goal of the season, though?
Well, it's the only way he's going to score.
He didn't even have any time. Does Herrera or does Martial get another assist?
Oh God. I've got a picture of Fellaini somewhere I can find just to make it even more funny. There we go. Well, we're through. We are through. I think I thought he might have handballed it for a minute, but he doesn't. I think
I think that's another assist too for Herrera or for Martial. Don't know how much you knew about it.
I mean, to be honest, it hits Fellaini and goes in, doesn't it? And like some of you in the comments, I was just laughing.
Look at this. Ready? Who is that? Look, you have a guy sitting on the post. Ready? And he's trying to put his hand up for a flag. Oh, he's calling for a handball.
Van Gaal's now decided to be very sing when you're winning. The manager really is. He'll feel justified now that Fellaini scored.
I think that was Rooney on the bench showing a hell of a lot of emotion.
Well, this is great for Rooney, isn't it? He probably comes back against Aston Villa, who were poor, score a couple of goals, more games for United. From a selfish point of view, and I don't blame Rooney, it's another. He's going to play at Wembley. It's another game to get fitness. He doesn't want 2 weeks off. Like I said, it would have been 2 weeks off if we'd got knocked out of the cup. So, I mean, fair play. Absolutely, it goes without saying, absolutely ecstatic that we're going to go through. Rojo's gone off.
Look at it too.
For Valencia, surprise.
Is that Fosu meant to the left back then?
Yeah. Which
you look at it too, and we've seen it a lot when we've scored goals where they're a little too defensive or they're too cautious. They look like they wanted to get out there and get another goal, and they took a few risks, and those guys need to put their shirt on. No, I'm just kidding.
2-0. I've updated the score as well. Oh, it's going to be 3. Oh, good recovery tackle. It's good timing for Van Gaal. This is the Van Halen bus will be revving up its engine and filling up with diesel because we, as I said, we've now got a semi-final.
That pisses me off a lot too. Is look, we sit here and I've done reviews for game after that. And, you do them too, and people go, "Oh, how can you sit there and say Van Gaal out? We just won the game." Whether he wins or loses one game doesn't. Dictate. Oh, is he going for a long throw?
No. But I think that bit of play is quite important, really, because
that's just annoying.
I'm sure Van Gaal will come out and say, "Oh, I was proved." He'll indicate, "Oh, I played Fellaini and we won." To me, the most important selection today is Herrera, because he's given the ball a couple of times away, but Herrera, he's not been playing in the last few games. He comes back in today and we win. It's got nothing to do with Fellaini. The ball's hit him, he's gone in. He's had an okay performance. I think Schneiderlin could have done exactly the same as what Fellaini's done today. But I think Herrera and not Lingard at number 2. I think moving Lingard out to the right-hand side has been absolutely a really good tactical move.
Hey, he looked like a little shove in the back, didn't it?
But this... unless something happens of epic proportions, we'll win this game because we've been the better team, hands down in the second half. And West Ham, for whatever reason, have been diabolical, absolutely diabolical. Just not turned up. Not Payet's been
quiet.
Yeah,
is he still on the pitch?
But I do think Herrera's made a massive difference and.
I think every time he plays, it's just, they're looking more like 3-0 than 2-1 right now.
Let's have a look at some of the comments. Zara's on there. Nice play between Fozo and Herrera. It was. Lingard. Everyone's playing with... You see, when you start winning, you score 2 goals. It's quite rare. Everyone starts to play with confidence. Everyone starts to do what they're meant to do. Stuart Marson. Mark, although we are winning, I'm glad we are. I don't think this team is good enough. Nowhere near. I mean, we're just sort of alluding to that. There should be no Van Gaal in bandwagon at all. He still needs to be sacked. 100%. But as Andy009 says, we're going to Wembley, and that is exciting. You know what? Nobody really wishes us to lose, and we may as well enjoy it.
It's going to be great to see him play there, especially against Everton. Hopefully, it's a proper game.
It'd be nice to go to Wembley. We've been very lucky in this tournament. Up until this round, we've played some real pushovers, but in previous years we've had some bad draws as well.
Who's the other team? It's Watford versus
Palace.
Palace not playing very well.
I still think Everton on paper are a better side than West Ham. They've just been very, very poor this season.
And not just that, they have that 20-goal-a-season striker in Lukaku as well.
Yeah, and I don't think they could be as bad as they were. We only beat them 1-0, didn't we? And how was
Martial? It was a tap-in at the back post.
Defensive mistake.
Yeah.
So we will have to play well to beat Everton. But it's exciting. We want some excitement. We wanted top 4 to be on.
Your season isn't over in April or March. There's something to play for.
And we will jump onto positivity. We want United to do well. I want Van Gaal to be sacked as well, but it doesn't mean I don't want us to do well. I don't know who City have got at the weekend in the league, but we've got Aston Villa, and if we win,
I'll tell you in a minute. City do have to play Arsenal and Chelsea. No, they have Chelsea, don't they? Is that this weekend?
Exactly. So I think our remaining fixtures, our most difficult one, funnily enough, is West Ham away. Well, having watched West Ham today, what's going to change in a few weeks? We'll have Rooney back. West Ham have been poor today.
To update the other game, Crystal Palace versus Everton is 0-0 still in the 30th minute. Yeah. This weekend, City play Chelsea. Yeah.
What time's that?
So it is a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. So they'll play. Hopefully we can put a bit of pressure on them. They'll see that and we're sitting here. You know what? Wouldn't it just be typical of our season for us to go and draw 0-0 at home to Aston Villa? Wouldn't it just be typical?
Trust me, we won't. Aston Villa are if we've been bad, Aston Villa are absolute shot. We should be. We should actually. I think we'll have some confidence from today.
We should put them to the sword.
I've been surprised by our attacking intent in preparation for Aston Villa, and with likes of Rooney coming back and wanting their place. I think we might beat them 3 or 4-0, which is why I think this Van Gaal bandwagon might start up again, especially if Chelsea beat City. But we're not. I've said since Christmas that top 4's gone. FA Cup.
All it will do is if they lose and we win, we'll breathe a little bit of life into him, and then we'll go and drop points against Bournemouth or somebody. That's the thing. That's consistency. We have not been consistent at all.
It's been an interesting game. Oh, bloody hell. Herrera's injured. Oh, fucking hell. I swear.
Is that a, what's he holding? Is that a hamstring? No. Ankle? He's taking his boot off, which is something you don't want to do if you have an ankle injury. That looks like he's looking real bad. I hope that's not he's grabbing the bottom of his foot. Let's see what happens.
Well, that would just be typical because we've done all right today, and I think Herrera's been the key. Not giving too many hints away for my after-match reaction, which will be live on a different stream straight after this. But I think Herrera's been pretty good.
Isn't that? Oh, you're right. It always happens every time. We get a win or something. Somebody gets hurt at the end. Fosu Mensah the last game. Herrera this game. Is he going to carry him off?
You shouldn't be doing that if someone's got an injury.
They're not showing it now. They're showing a replay. I want to see what's going on. Who's going to come on?
That's just idiotic what Mark Noble's just done.
How's that not a card?
It should be a card. It's assault.
I'll tell you what. If you do that to my teammate and I don't have a card, I'm getting one. You're not going to do that to my teammate.
Schneiderlin on for Herrera.
I'm going shoulder to shoulder, and I'm putting you down into the ground, Mark Noble.
That's actually this is another defensive mistake. But if he can switch the play to Martial here,
fell over.
It's a shame.
Douchebag. Come on. Do not get hurt, Martial. Is Schneiderlin playing as the number 10 right now?
No.
He looks to be the unless I don't know. That's a little too well.
I think this game's over. I think we've won it. But bring Rooney on, Van Hal, says the Dare I Bro. What's going on, says Ryan. It's 2-0. Herrera's gone off injured. If we win the FA Cup, Lou Van Hal stays. Raul says.
No, he doesn't. You don't lose 400 because
do you sack an FA Cup winner though?
Yeah, of course. Should maybe you don't sack him. You force him to retire though, so it doesn't come out that he's been sacked. He gets to ride off into this. Hey, look, it's something Arsenal should have did last season with Wenger. Don't make the same mistake they make.
It is a worry. I would happily sacrifice the FA Cup.
There's no way. No, there's no way he stays. I'm sorry. There's no way. Even if he wins it, there's no way because the Champions League puts money in the pockets. No team's going to come to you just because you won the FA Cup. I just can't see him staying. And it wouldn't even be controversial for the pundits. They'll say, okay, he won the FA Cup, but he didn't deliver. This is Manchester United, and you need to be winning the the FA Cup is a great trophy, but it's almost seen as like a B trophy to the Premier League and to the Champions League. That's just how I feel about it, and that's just my opinion.
This game just seemed to slow down a bit. It's like
it's getting nervous because, like I said,
what a save! That is a save. That is a Dave save. It's absolutely brilliant. It looked brilliant anyway. Let's just see.
It looked like it was going in.
Oh, it's feet again. Was it you or Martin was saying the other day that he saved so many with his feet? Brilliant. Absolutely
Martin.
Brilliant.
The one that comes to mind is in the Bernabeu, the Champions League. It's getting worrying, though, because you do not want to see 1-0. There it is. Like I said. That's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic how you let him come back into it. Look at this toothless mother. James Tompkins. Come on. I gotta backtrack now and delete that tweet that we're going to Wembley.
It'd be criminal if we give this up.
Wouldn't it just be so typical of the season, though?
Look
at that. Fellaini goes out with his goddamn foot.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Look at this. What are you doing?
He's got to head that. He's in front of him.
Body at it. He's got to throw his entire body at it. What's he doing? Dude, he's a joke.
Oh well, all the Fellaini lovers, you can get back in your box now because that was 100% his fault. Rubbish defensively. And we've now... I said it was going slow between 75 and 79 minutes. And boy, they just... should be 100% won this game.
Now, like I said, how many times have we... I don't know, I hope somebody rewinds this or watches this again and they'll hear me talking about last 10 to 15 minutes, I didn't want a 1-0 lead, and it's practically now back to a 1-0 lead. Because I just don't... I hate defending. 10 to 15 minutes, like, it's just not the United way, one. And two,
We are still putting players up front, though, which is... we are still playing on the attack. We're not totally gone defensive, which is amazing because we normally do.
You don't want to see us get caught up the pitch and then Smalling one-on-one. You want to see cover for your defenders. I don't know. I'm just not confident right now.
Well, 10 minutes, you would expect West Ham are going to get a chance. I think our best form of defence.
They're going to they're going to get a few chances. But look, can we put it in the corner now? Just take it down there. 10 minutes. That's the thing that sucks. As time goes by so slow now. That's got to be a foul. And that's another thing. We haven't seen any retaliation on Mark Noble for what he did. Tell you what, like I said, that's my teammate. I'm putting a shoulder into him and putting him in the ground. I don't care.
The
They got
trouble
all the
is, last
momentum
10 minutes is
Look at this. All the momentum right. That's not even
the thing
close.
that's not happened in this game at all. That will happen in the last 10 minutes, because it's what happens in the last 10 minutes of football games. Is they've not been getting many high ball into the box, and that's the threat for West Ham. The last 10 minutes of the game, they're going to get loads of high ball into the box, and that is the fear. Sorry, I'm just setting up the live stream as well.
Oh, you're all right. I was just looking at a tweet. That's shit defending, though, by Fellaini.
It is, yeah.
Damn.
It is really bad.
Pisses me off. I know he's not a center back, but come on. You know what I mean? Put your body... you're trying to play at Wembley. Throw your face in front of it. You got big enough hair.
Well, the thing is, by going for the foot, it allows the opposition to go with the head quicker, and it's there for him to. If he goes with his head,
that's what I'm saying.
Which is what
you
he's
have
all
to throw
about.
Your whole body. Even if you don't feel comfortable throwing your head in, you got to get your hands behind your back, but make yourself big, and block the shot. It'd be criminal if we don't go through. Absolutely, I'd be on the verge of crying if we don't go through.
I think we can still do it. I think we can still do it. We've just got to stop them from.
That's another thing. If they do equalize, going into extra time, you could see it going to penalties and them having all the momentum. I'm not trying to be negative. I know I've been pretty negative, but
oh yeah, well the game changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and especially the way they score. If they get a scrappy goal or they get something crazy. Pyatt puts one in the top corner.
They are at home. It's their last cup game at the whatever.
They haven't lost here since September. Yeah, they're moving to the new stadium. How much do you put onto that? Because I have a friend who's a Tottenham supporter, and he brags about them getting a big new stadium and players are going to want to come play in it. And obviously, this was in the beginning of the year. Now they've got Champions League and they've got something going. But say they didn't. Say they didn't have Champions League. Would you think that a big new stadium, and you could look at West Ham, is going to attract players?
No. They need the Champions League, don't they?
Yeah, you do. Even though it's London, and I know players like living there, I don't think it does too much.
The game is starting to tick down a little bit faster now, which is good. And Fellaini should win that header. Shame we didn't win the one on their goal.
But we don't have that.
But we've won it here in a decent position. I thought Rooney was going to come on at one point, but clearly that isn't going to happen.
Have we only made 2 subs, and one of them forced?
Yeah.
So Rooney will come on to kill time. He'll probably come on for Rashford, who's got a great run going. Killing some time, cuts it back. I still don't like I know I said put it in the corner with 10 minutes to go. But still, I was just being a bit of a joker there. But 5 minutes to go and you just play. Come on, get a goal.
Time's moving on. And as long as we stop and putting crosses
it is moving quicker. How much extra time you got in this?
I don't know. Probably be 4 minutes. It's pretty standard, isn't it?
Did Mark Noble hurt himself though by taking Herrera off? Maybe Herrera stays on hurt a little bit. He buys a minute or two. But instead, he had to be a smart, wise guy, pick him up. Looks great touch. Foul.
It's got to keep it in their half. Take your time. I mean, we have killed 10 of the last 10 minutes. We've killed half of it without them doing anything. So we've just got to do that again, and we're laughing. It's tense. Just for everybody, I'm just setting up the live stream for the match reaction straight afterwards. I'll put the link in the video description of this video that this stream you're watching now, so you can just click into that as soon as we finish on this one. And I will go live probably pretty quick after. I'll put it in the first line. Live reaction stream link. Okay, that's saved.
Just an update on the Champions League if anybody's interested. At halftime, Benfica and Bayern Munich are tied 1-1. What's that on aggregate?
I think they won. Bayern Munich won the first one.
Just 1-0 though, I believe. Could be wrong. Somebody let us know in the comments. Atletico Madrid are beating Barcelona 1-0.
Don't know what that means. That was 2-1 in the first leg. So they'd be through Atletico Madrid. Bloody hell, that'd be a massive. Imagine if City win the Champions League. God.
No, because I still think Bayern Munich are the best team.
Yeah, Pep would not want that, will he?
No, could you imagine? He's probably looking at the City team now, and obviously, given they've done pretty well in Europe, domestically they've been terrible, and he's probably regretting that move. I'm surprised. What the hell is Andy Carroll doing there? I'm surprised Abramovich didn't go hard in for Pep.
There's a chance there.
Oh!
Very close. I think that hopefully will be their chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know they're going to have at least maybe one more like that. Oof. Bloody hell. Great ball in, though. And that's Blind. He does just enough to put Carroll off. Just enough.
He should. Well, I think Andy Carroll should score that, to be honest. I'm
I
not going to give any credit.
If he goes a little further down, it might have came off Blind's head. Oh, boy. That's what you get for having a shit haircut.
Apparently I'm in trouble now because I'm being biased. I haven't updated the West Ham score. I'm in denial.
What?
I'm in denial. I've updated it for you now.
Never happened.
Yeah, Barca as it stands are out, but there's still a good half left in that game, isn't there?
The good thing about this is once this is over, you'll be able to tune in. That's a decent ball. Pyatt's on it. Oh, shit. I noticed Andy Carroll creeping in. That's another thing I don't really want us to see. You know, Pyatt has the ball there, and yes, I want you to be aware of him, but I don't want players to get caught ball watching and then have a player sneak in at the top of the box. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, no. It's offside. Yes, it's offside. Bloody hell. It was offside. It's not 2-2. What linesman, give us a wave with your flag.
It's that one. Is that the one from the weekend that was doing that warm-up? Did you see that video?
No.
Oh, I guess the linesman in the tunnel, he's got his own pregame, and he's like loosening his shoulders. And
I tell you what, it's a good flag, that. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
It's a good flag.
No, it's great. And he's making all these faces and stuff like that. Somebody link mark the video in the comments. I know you guys saw it too.
I'm surprised De Gea didn't save that second one, to be honest. But
he didn't really get up too high on the second one. But yeah, you used to see him say that. Good thing about that is it kills more time. You rarely see. Here's a substitution, like I said, Rashford for Rooney. What kind of
let's hope they don't score.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Rooney might be good, but I don't know whether he's fit enough for this.
That's what I'm saying. You're taking a massive risk that this doesn't go into extra time. What if Rooney does, get injured again and comes back? Then we're down to 10 minutes.
We don't want extra time.
How much we got? 3, 4?
4 minutes.
I think
the standard 4.
Hopefully that's.
Well, the two standout players for me, and we'll throw it over to the live comments, and we'll discuss this obviously more on the live reaction.
I think it's pretty easy, isn't it?
It's Fosu Mensah or Herrera for me, but Herrera's gone off, so it's Fosu Mensah.
Yeah, he's for me my man of the match.
I think Fellaini's shown today exactly why he's not a Manchester United player. Yeah, he scored a goal because it hit him, and
yeah, on one end he does something,
and then he's put.
There's a shove in the back.
No, we don't want
How do you not?
But
it's a shove in the back before that. The ball coming in. Smalling, yeah, there it is. Smalling gets shoved in the back by Carroll.
I tell you what, though,
this
isn't such a bad thing because they pretty much, because it's a free kick, because he's going to go for goal.
He gets the ball though there.
If he's got to beat De Gea from here, and I don't think he will do. And I think when he misses this or it's saved, as long as it's not a corner, I think this is it. Tie over.
I don't know. This is the way. I don't know. the way Pyatt's been scoring goals lately, the media's on all of them, on him. Talking about him being the buy of the season with Mahrez and Conte.
Come on, lads and girls. Everybody get confident with me. He's not going to score. We're going to Wembley. Joey's covering his eyes up. He is not going to beat De Gea 2 times in 2 games. And there's not enough time for him to get a chance after this. I'm being confident. No way.
I hope he slips.
And it's a corner. I don't know, actually. Mate. I'd like to see that from behind because I think De Gea didn't seem to have much leg movement. But it didn't look as if he hit it that well. Confidence. I'm confident we're going to do this. We're going to do this. The wall did its job.
This is a role reversal.
It's a weird corner, that is. That's good. What a time to try and do a Beckham and Scholes corner.
Yeah. Isn't that what Gary Neville said too? When you're chasing a game, there's a few things you don't do, and one of them is shoot from distance like that.
That was ridiculous. They've got players like Andy Carroll in the box, and they
go and
try and do something stupid like that. And Noble gets his just desserts for picking up Herrera.
Who's the Martin Tyler and?
Really difficult skill to
turn that off, Joe. We'll get in trouble.
Oh, you could hear that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's our competition. We're better than Tyler.
Yeah.
This is over, but this is where it gets dangerous because this is pumping the long ball into the box, which fortunately for the last 10 minutes, to be fair, we've stopped them doing. But this
at least we have
Carroll does win the
Smalling
first header. That looks like it's a goal kick. It's over. It's not over, but it's over because they ain't got time. They haven't got time.
Now I want De Gea to hit it as far as he can into a corner.
Remember, everybody, live comment. I'll tweet it anyway if you follow us on Twitter. The link is in the first line of the description of the YouTube video. Basically going to end this when the final whistle's done, and then I'll do the live match reaction. And I'm going to be that confident with 30 seconds to go. I'm going to say, well done, Joey. Thanks for joining me for this.
Yeah, it's always fun.
You're going to do the Villa game as well, aren't you, on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm free.
Cool. Because we can't watch.
That's right.
So
you can't watch it.
We'll do the watch along with you because you can.
13 seconds left. 10.
They've got to blast it, haven't they?
Oh, just.
It's out. That's over. It's over surely now. Come on, blow your whistle.
That's
it. Will be over.
It's game.
It will be over.
We're going to Wembley. They had to make it interesting, though, didn't they? The last 10 minutes.
Yeah, well.
Come on, blow the whistle.
Rooney looks fat.
Why is he not blowing the whistle? He's going on 30 seconds.
Go to the corner, Lingard. Just go for the corner. Valencia knows.
Why is he playing almost an extra minute?
I don't know, but he's just gonna. He's not got his whistle in yet. Well,
does he not want to go home yet? Is he having fun? Does he want
West
Ham
over.
to score?
It's over. We're going to Wembley. Get in there. Well done. Fantastic. Fantastic.
All right.
I think it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting weekend. I think we're going to beat Villa as well. So keep track. Subscribe to the United Stand. I'll do the live match
see you later.
now. And we've got Joey on Saturday. But I think the questions are going to come again. Van Hal in. And it pulls me, but we'll see. But we're going to Wembley, and that's the main thing. Thanks everybody for watching. Click on the link below. I'm going to pop over there and go live on that. But thanks everybody for watching the live stream. We're really enjoying doing the watch alongs. Loads to talk about. But thanks everybody for watching, and pop over onto the live match reaction.